How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we, the people, choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing!
Don't you want healthy children? Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
I come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again. Making black
Wow.
There we go. All right. What is up, everybody? I thought y'all might think that was kind of cool. I saw that ad a little while ago, so I had to yank it down there and steal it from them. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think of that video, Duggar?
Dude, that was the most awesome video ever. When he slid up, when Vance slid over the old orange car like Dukes of Hazzard, that was pretty cool. And I want you to know we had the classiest and the prettiest first lady ever with Donald Trump.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
She is such a classy piece of work, you know. I mean, first off, to put up with Donald Trump, I mean, come on, she's got to be tough.
Yeah, you can only imagine that's not easy having to put up with him all the time. But you know, I like me some Donald. So, what do you think, Gutters?
I think she's very silent. So I think if you piss her off, I think that she probably wears the bigger pants in the family when shit comes to shove. Because I bet she doesn't.
I'd say that if it was anybody besides Trump. Trump's pretty arrogant old fucker there. You know, he got an ego.
Mm-hmm. I just think that she
if somebody
she's way stronger than we know.
If somebody could do it, I think Melania could do it because she's a class act, man.
So what do you, Gutters, you were looking stuff up earlier. What have you seen with any of the polling or anything like that? You come
well, they're definitely a little they're mixed. You know, one of them you'll look at it and it'll say that, you know, that Trump's a little bit ahead and she's just trailing behind. And then you'll see another one that says just the opposite. So it's kind of hard to tell. That's why I'm a little frustrated. I'm trying to find, like I said, if anybody knows of any tickers that are out there, like live tickers that will show us what the numbers are, I really want those tickers so that I can put them on the screen for tomorrow night. That way we kind of know exactly where the numbers are sitting. But I've had a hell of a time finding them, and maybe I won't find them until tomorrow night. But from most of the swing states, they still seem to be tied neck and neck. Like there doesn't seem to be a lot of.
No, you're listening to some fake polls. I watched Rasmussen talk today on Benny Johnson, and he's probably got the best how you say grade average of honesty and doing the polls right. He's got him at 380 electoral votes already. You know, way more than he needs.
280.
Yeah, and I mean, we just took Iowa. We're taking Iowa. We're up by 6 points in Iowa. He's going to flip Wisconsin and probably Pennsylvania too. So in Georgia, it's a shut. We shut them out in Georgia. We'll end up with Georgia and Arizona. So I think once they really start looking at it, I think he wins every state.
I don't know if we'll make it that far, but he did get this just a little while ago that I saw. Joe Rogan there. He says the great and powerful Elon Musk. If it wasn't for him, we'd be fucked. He makes what I think is the most compelling case for Trump you'll hear, and I agree with him every step of the way. For the record, yes, that's an endorsement of Trump.
Boom.
Yeah, so I did see that come out. I guess he had a podcast earlier. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I guess Joe Rogan and Elon Musk did a podcast a little while ago.
Yeah,
so,
I was watching it.
Yeah, I thought that's a good endorsement to get.
Yeah.
I mean, not that endorsements mean everything, but, you know.
That's 12 million followers. Over 12 million followers.
Yeah. And what's up, Mick11? Good to see you. Matt Dummett here. SO, good to see you as well. Mr. Mom coming in there. Greetings, everyone. Good to see you guys. It's kind of a pop-up stream here. We will be covering tomorrow night. So that should be good. We'll have a lot more going for us then. But yeah, we just figured we'd come on tonight and talk about what's going to happen, get people's thoughts on it, see what people think about it. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
And after last time, you gotta be a little bit nervous.
Well, yeah, they're pro cheaters, so this ain't their first rodeo. Yeah. And if you sit there and think that the libs are just because they're a bunch of hateful whiners and commies and Marxists, that they're not smart people, you're fooling yourself.
Oh, 100%.
They've been planning this. They've been planning this operation 4 years ago. I think we're going to have some disturbances tomorrow. I just don't see how states can predict. Well, we're going to have to count 2 or 3 days after. You know what? No.
Yeah, that one's kind of bothered me. They're already coming out on the news and like, what was it? Was it Arizona? I think it was Arizona or Nevada, one of those. I think it was Arizona. They were saying on the news, they were like, yeah, here we go. It'll probably take, they were talking like a week and stuff before that they would have results coming out of there. And how is that possible? How is it possible that it takes a week? I just don't, I don't get it. I guess they accept ballots up to as long as they're mailed by this date, then, they'll accept them up. So they might be 4 or 5 days after. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. I like this. Mr. Mom says Elon Musk versus Taylor Swift SmackDown 2024.
I don't know, man. I think Taylor would take him.
I don't know. Elon's probably got one of those robot.
Elon have a robot come in there and kick your ass.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Alexis P? Good to see you in here. Gixer Squid, Jixer, whichever way you want to look at it. If Trump act like that in 2000. Yeah, exactly. Why hasn't she done it already as VP? You would think that she would have. You would think so. What's up, LW?
Hey, what's up, buddy? Mr.
How you doing?
All right.
Yeah. What you thinking about the election tomorrow?
I don't know, brother. A little nervous about it, but
come on,
it'll be entertaining to watch. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I spoke out loud. I was thinking out loud. I apologize.
I do that a lot of times on the toilet.
Me too. I was talking shit, so that's why I kind of.
Yeah.
No, so what do you think, LW? Give us your thoughts. What are you thinking about it? You've probably looked at some of the polling and stuff like that. I'm just now trying to get to it right now. So what do you think?
Oh, this polling is all over the place. They had one poll had Harris up by like 4 points in Iowa, which is just ridiculous. I don't think that'll happen at all. It's probably going to be plus 10 Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's all over the map. I think by the reaction, just the vibe you get from both campaigns, I think both sides know Trump is leading most of these swing states. You know, and then you have all the nonsense. You have Michigan, who sued RFK Jr. to not be on the ballot. Then he drops out and wants to be off. Now they sued to keep him on the ballot. And
Oh, I didn't see that. Did that really happen?
yeah, he's on the ballot. He had to go live or do a recording like, "Don't vote for me." They sued to keep him off and then sued to keep him on. It's
Yeah,
wild
he's on
stuff.
the ballot.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, geez. Yeah. Yeah. I don't see how they do that.
Yeah, but they're the party of democracy, brother.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely so. That's why Kamala was the one they picked to run, because I mean they democratically put her in there, so I mean all the people voted for her.
I think there will be some discussion about how she won that, where they voted her in, not a person voted for her.
What's up, Kentucky Blue Balls? He says he's voting for Lohan and Sheen. That'd be a hell of a ticket right there. That'd be one hell of a ticket. Yeah, I'm going on Twitter right now, or X. God, I can never get used to calling it X.
Get used to it.
Yeah, it makes it hard. See, all I'm really seeing on here is a bunch of funny memes and, you know, people going back and forth. Because everybody's kind of just sitting down, just waiting down to see what happens. But I think tomorrow night should be pretty interesting.
Yeah. So what were you talking shit, Mr. Duggar? What did I say that was you didn't like?
It wasn't nothing you said. It was talking about sitting on the toilet. You know, that's where I do most of my best governing. You know, but that's what I was saying. I don't know. I was just running my head, man. I got CRS, so
Yeah, this is all opinions. I am not an expert or educated on any of this.
In what?
On anything. This is just ramblings of a stupid person. So
Ramblings of a stupid. That's what we do best here. That is what we do best
right.
here. It's like stupid
That's right.
people rambling.
right.
So
uneducated monks, you know. So
We actually have contests here to who's going to be the dumbest.
right.
I win most times. That's why you never see me in the leaderboard on trivia.
Hey, you did make it before, you know. You have made it.
I did a couple times. You know, what do they say about what do they say about the rain? No.
It's wet.
you got sense enough to get out of the rain.
It's not about the rain. Sorry. I chose the wrong element. I think
Fire.
Yeah, I think you were going with even a blind squirrel gets a nut every now and then.
there
right?
you go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah,
Thank
okay.
you. Yeah.
There you
Why'd
go.
you make you just let me sit there and fucking flutter and you can just say it.
Yeah, no, I was typing something in the private chat for y'all. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I think that's kind of fun. You have done pretty good at trivia though here lately, but yeah, tomorrow I think people keep talking about Georgia. I think Georgia's going to pretty easily go to Trump. I really do. I think North Carolina, Florida's already sewn up, you know, as best you can tell, and they'll have their results. Florida will have their results, you know, at 8 o'clock, 8:30, you know, while everybody else is, you know, counting with I guess maybe they use an abacus over there in Arizona.
One of them old abacuses.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe they got one of those over there. So, yeah, I still can't get over that thing where they're, you know, in Pennsylvania as well. And they're sitting there saying it might be days and days and days before you know the results. I just don't like that.
Oh, that and they're having glitches already. They're calling glitches. You know, and it's across the nation. Why are we still using these same machines that caused so much an uproar in our last 2 elections? And they cast severe doubts on our last two elections. And was proven were plugged into the internet when they wasn't supposed to be plugged in to the internet.
Yeah, I think one thing they should be worrying about, like really, really bad, is clearing up people's doubts in the election. Like you should want to make it as, right out there in front of you. People shouldn't be sitting there having to doubt anything. They should have it. What's up, John Euler? Good to see you.
And I think where they would stop some of the, people being suspect of it is these different swing states, and it's mostly in swing states, where one party is trying to take dead people off the voter rolls, and the other party is fighting it.
Yeah.
There was, in the duplicate voter rolls, people are trying to clean that up. Then people sued to stop. So I don't understand like why you would sue against stuff like that, just like the RFK Jr. thing. If you're above board and you don't have any bad intentions, why would you sue us against stuff like that?
Right.
Or voter ID, for that matter. I mean, you got to have a voter ID. You got to have an ID to purchase a car, to purchase liquor, to purchase cigarettes, to
lottery ticket,
go out of state. Yeah.
Get on an airplane. Do anything in the world. Open a bank account. Do anything. You have to have an ID. Then they sit there and say, well, you can't, like, they'll try to bring the race card in, like, oh, that's racist or this, or, and it's like, everybody's able to get a damn ID. Everybody's got an ID.
Well, that's even racist in itself.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Everybody always laughs at that. It's like, come on now.
They're too dumb to learn how to get an ID. I mean, there's a good video by a guy who did that a few years ago.
Yeah, I actually remember that. Yeah, it was a pretty good video. Yeah. So how's the voting looking? Have you gone and voted yet, LW?
Yeah, I voted the other day, a couple days ago.
How's the turnout there in the great state of Texas?
Well, the little area my little station was pretty packed. I got yelled at when I walked in the door. Speaking about IDs, as soon as I walk in the door, this old man is yelling at me, "Get out your ID! Get out your ID!" I'm like, "All right, chill out." But yeah, it was pretty packed when I went.
Yeah, you do have to. Like I vote in Georgia, so you do have to have an ID here. I mean, they make you show it when you to get your little card. So I don't understand. I've never voted somewhere where they don't ask for an ID, but I guess some states you can just walk up and vote. Or I mean, how does that work without an ID?
Well, I saw it on in California. They walked up and this guy was, saying allegedly when he would say his name or something to that effect. He was saying like his birthday and where he lived and stuff like that. So he was like, "But maybe I'm not that person." And they're like, "Well, are you or aren't you?" And he was like, "Well, I can show you my ID." And this other lady walked up and was like, "It's California. We trust you. Just tell us, are you this person or not?" I'm like, "What are you doing?"
How is that possible? I don't even know. What's up, Andy Heinrich, Wanda E? Good to see you guys. What were you going to say, Gutters? You had a thought going there.
I got sidetracked.
I'm sorry.
I don't remember what it was. Oh, I got sidetracked. I don't know.
My bad.
It's okay. I got busy on something else.
I still think, paper, voter ID, one day voting. Let's go.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Sorry, Duggars. We just sign an envelope and run it down to a ballot box, and we throw it in the little ballot box and hope nobody burns it up. And then 9 times out of 10, they'll, send you back a letter saying that your signature might not have matched up. So they're going to need to, investigate that, and you're going to need to have to sign another piece of paper so they can see if your signature matches up. Because, yeah. So that's happened twice to one of my sons.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
They
you vote way up in that northwest area. What is it like going in voting where you're at?
We don't. We have to do mail-in ballots.
So there is everything has to be mailed.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
can't just go in and vote.
Exactly.
Well,
We don't have any place here to go in and vote.
How does that work?
And what's amazing is, it's all mail-in ballots. I mean, don't you know? We don't have to leave home to get groceries or, vote.
Yeah, that's insane. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize you had to do it that way.
I didn't either.
That's wild.
Yeah, I just figured like even when you were saying that, I just thought it was like, yeah, you just mailed yours back in or something like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, because I wouldn't want to mail my ballot in. That's just weird.
Yeah. Well, I don't trust the post office with that's why we actually go to the ballot box and put it in the ballot box right outside the election office. Where, mind you, tonight when Marv and Matthew went to drop off the ballot, Matt's envelope kind of stuck a little bit. It got, I don't know, got wet or whatever. And so the envelope sucked and he was trying to get it open and couldn't seem to get it open right. And he knew that they'd probably reject it if he took it and just, put it in the ballot box like that. And so he was going to go in and get another envelope. But the line was basically like all the way around the building twice. So he was like, yeah, I guess I won't be doing that.
So they have a building, and outside of the building, they've got a big box that you just walk up to, but you can't go inside the building.
Oh, you can go inside the building and ask questions.
And they just tell you to go back outside and drop it in that box.
Right. Right. But like with Matthew, he could go in and get like an envelope or whatever, but he could, you can't go in there to vote.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's just the
that's
dumbest shit ever.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's set up for corruption, cheating votes. That's all it is.
Exactly. It's the craziest shit you ever seen.
They're not looking for votes. They're looking for ballots.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, and it's an allegedly controversial issue, but none of us are professionals here. We're all full of shit, and this is for entertainment only. So don't get your panties in the wad. And if you do get your panties in the wad, you can go play a game of go hide and buck yourself, because sometimes we do that thing that just upsets people.
I can't get to it yet. I'm in another thing.
That's your
damn it. Sorry. I wasn't expecting it to come up that much. What's up, Nils? Good to see you, Nils, up in here. We got Anyways Song in here as well. Good to see you. Who else do we see come in here? Talking in the chat. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat as well. Gutters, you just kicked us off over on your channel too, didn't you? So
I did.
You did. So yeah, we got some people coming in from over there on Gutters Pub as well. So make sure everybody does go over there and thumb that one up, because we will be streaming this tomorrow night as well. We haven't really talked about that. Do you want me to stream it too with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you should. I think LW, whoever. Definitely. If you come up on the panel, you and LW, I was hoping that you guys were going to come and host for sure. And then, whoever comes up on panel, I figured they'd come up and ask questions, and we do the whole call-in show just to see how that went, because it does seem to work well in the sense of having a few on panel versus 10.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it turns into a shit show. Once you get, that many people on panel, it's just, there's no way we could even talk about the election,
No. And so I wanted to, I want it to be informative, and people are watching. If they're going to come and watch the election and that whole thing, they're not going to want to watch something where they can't understand anybody and everybody's over,
right.
Or so.
We understand. Esso says in South Carolina, they have voter registration cards. If you have that, no picture ID required. Yeah, I guess.
That's so wild to me. Texas, they take your ID and it's required for them to scan. And what that does is to make sure, because there's multiple places you can vote, is to scan your ID, because once you vote, it takes your name off the roll.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah, they scan. It's same here. They scan your ID. They put it, put it in thing, do all the information, blah, blah, blah. And then they hand you a little card that's matched to you. You take it over there, go to the little booth, and
yeah, exactly.
It's
one lady here from Oregon. She went in. She was able to get in and go watch them. She got to be a poll watcher, and when she went in, they showed her how many times she had voted and who she had voted for. And she said, that's good because I've never voted. This is my first time in doing all this. So she had voted 4 times and yet she had never voted. So for 4 times she has voted, but she never voted. It's like, oh my God. That's why I said,
he never voted Democrat in his life till after he died.
Well, this is why it was kind of frustrating to me last election when everybody was like, well, it's over with now. So, quit crying over spilt milk and da-da-da-da-da. No, because see, in the end, they went, yeah, okay, maybe it was maybe it was stolen. And now there's no way we can't get those 4 years back. That's like when you throw somebody in prison falsely and then you go, oh, well, now it's 23 years down the road. No, sorry, come on out. Hell. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You got a lot of new people in here there, Tia.
Do we? Okay, sorry. I was going to try to bring this one thing up. Who else we got coming in here?
We got Maui Howie.
Maui Howie, what's up, brother? Good to see you, Maui Howie. Let's see. Flatty. Hey, Flatty, good to see you as well. Always great to see you, Flatty. Memento. We got Memento Mori coming in here. Good to see Memento. Yeah, good to see all you guys. Thanks for being here. This is probably not the most exciting stream, but we're just going to talk a little bit and talk about the election. That's kind of the fun of it.
We're going to make it exciting, though.
Yeah, we are going to make it exciting. It's going to get exciting. It is going to get exciting. I got some clips I want to try to pull up and play as well. See something here. Kamala got caught in 4K telling a family and go back inside their house. She could stage a door knock. Let me see. I might be able to pull this up. This could be interesting.
John Wiggs, how you doing, little brother?
John. Anyways.
All right, let me see this here. So let's see what this is all about. Let me pull this up on the screen here, and we'll present this out and see what the hell we're talking about. I guess it's this right here. So make sure we have volume. We should, but just make sure. And I haven't heard this yet either, so let's see what this is.
Nice, anyways.
Y'all got volume on that?
Yeah, turn it up.
She's totally staging it. Shut the fuck up.
Is that better?
Yep.
All right.
Do not get the fuck out. Is there anything about this woman that isn't fake?
I'd love to have show up at my house and do that. That would just be fun. All right, there we go. So how'd that look?
That was funny.
Did that look real? Oh, geez. Yeah, that whole kind of stuff. So here's what we got going from
Pig Skin Pete in the house.
Hey, what's up, Pig Skin Pete? Hey, man, if you want to, you're more than welcome to pop on here and talk about the election with us, Pete, if you want to. I sent you the link. You do have it if you want to come up here and say anything about it. Good to see you, brother. Says there's a few people who probably could have beat Trump, but I don't think Kamala is one of them. She's a disaster of a candidate. Yes, she is. Yes, she is an absolute disaster. So they're saying this. Let me see here. I guess Let's look at this. So who will win the presidential election? So this is showing, I don't even know who this is from, but this is just something I came across. It's showing it's giving Donald Trump a 53% chance. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, what's up, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights? Good to see you. John Wiggs, good to see you too. Yeah, I don't. So, Duggar, when you go in and vote, how does that work?
Go in there and they ask you your name. You show your name. You give them your ID, and then they, being a Democratic state, they pretend they can't find my name and all that. And I said, don't give. And I have to say it every time. Don't give me that crap. I'm the only. My last name is, I have a kind of original last name. Not a lot of people have it. I guarantee I'm the only one in New Mexico, in the Santa Fe area. And I said, I go through this every time with you guys. He said, well, we can put you on the, you can vote and they'll look at it later. And I go, no, you look and you find me, because I checked to make sure I was still on the rolls and I was registered to vote. So I'm there. And what do you know? Every time they seem to find me.
After you stand there and play their waiting game.
The last time I voted, they got all mad because I had my own pen. They wanted me to use a felt Sharpie. And I said, no, I'll use my lucky pen. And come to find out, they had this big thing about using the Sharpie bled through and disqualified you on a lot of the things. So, I wondered if they handed all the Republicans felt Sharpies.
Well, what happened was the machines wasn't reading the felt the ink. So because you're supposed to use ink, not marker shit.
Yeah, so I wondered if they singled me out because I don't like it that they know that I'm a Republican. Mm-hmm. I think that needs to be taken off the rolls too. That where they can identify you about who you previously voted for, or your affiliation with what party. I don't think they should be able to do that, because I think that's where a lot of our problems come from in our voter system. Is that conservatives are routinely ostracized from voting.
Well, the other thing that they do is with like my son, who doesn't, he was an independent and he wasn't allowed to vote in the primaries. So I think that's bullshit. If just because it says he's an independent, he still might vote for one of the other candidates. So, right. I mean, he should be allowed to vote in any of them. I just thought that was really strange that he was mad when he didn't get a ballot or anything. It was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's weird. You should be able to go in there and vote whoever you want to. It shouldn't be. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see tomorrow. I hope it all goes like peacefully and everything like that. I hope nobody gets out of control or any of that kind of stuff. I could see some crazy people going out tomorrow, and disrupting things, trying to make things go crazy. But hopefully we won't have to deal with that.
Yeah, like white boys for Kamala.
Oh yeah, I can see those guys really causing a lot of trouble. The white guys for Kamala.
Where is your campaign at when one of your last minute commercials is a bunch of dudes? Basically, the commercial was saying, even though you're ashamed of voting for Kamala, go ahead, you can do it. Nobody has to know. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh Lord.
Have y'all seen that commercial? It's terrible.
No.
Yeah, I saw part of it. I don't remember it that way. Yeah, I did. I just have to like cringe and try to not, just forget it all. It's hard to look at.
Yeah, I think Kamala's getting ready for Thanksgiving because she's up on her neck. She's got her turkey waddles on.
And all those dudes for Kamala commercials that they make, all like, I don't know. It's a weird vibe. I don't know. I've never seen a gay porno, but it kind of feels like that would be the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, Trump's doing a rally right now.
Yeah, it's the last one of the day.
Yep.
Like he's done 3 today.
Yep, Grand Rapids. He's up there in Grand Rapids doing the last one.
Hey, Status.
Hey, what's up, Status Quo? Good to see us. Wendy, Southern Sun and Grown. Good to see you as well.
Wendy. And Jim Davis.
Hi, Wenders.
Davidson.
Jim Davidson. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, it's probably a pretty good. I bet that's probably a pretty funny rally up there right now. He's probably having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine. His rallies look like so much fun. I've wanted to go to one so bad, like so many times.
I know.
Of course, they can only announce them, a couple days before or something like that because, obviously with security issues and things. But there's always something going on. Always, like I can never go. There's always something I have to do. Always makes me mad.
My luck, they'd go, yeah, sure, come right in, and we'll stick you right behind him. No, thanks, that's okay. I'm good.
Yeah, I've only seen those people sitting right behind him. And now, especially, I wouldn't want to be right behind them. But even before, you always end up watching the people behind, knowing like the awkward things that they're doing or whatever. Or at least I do. And I could know. I don't want to be there. I'm like, I wouldn't want to be that guy. I want to be the person, in front.
Yeah.
Yeah, I make way too many stupid faces to stick me up there. No way.
Hey, you'll forever be that person that the memes about because you had a tickle on your nose or something and you scratched it and they froze it. Look at that person picking their nose behind the thing,
Right, you're chasing a butterfly. Who knows what? I mean, it wouldn't be good. I just know I'd be the one.
And then they find you on the internet and they're like, look, Gutter's Pub eats her boogers.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Booger yacht.
Yeah, that's what would happen to me. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that.
Mm-mm.
I would love to go to one of the rallies, so I think that would be fun. Too bad that time is probably passed by this point. He'll probably do them in the midterm, I'll bet, but it won't be the same.
Yeah, I just got to say he has some major cods to get back up there after somebody taking a part of his ear off. I mean that takes some fortitude there, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And then get up, throwing his fist, yelling "fight, fight, fight!" right after they shot him. Get down, fool! That motherfucker got more than one bullet.
Yeah, that's a real life situation. Like one of the most obviously stressful ever. Being shot at.
Yeah, pretty sure there's not other things that
So you find out about people in moments like that, and he was like popped up and was like, "Fuck y'all."
Yeah, right.
Where most people would be like, "Let's get the hell out of here, brother."
Yeah.
Right, exactly. All right, screw this. I'm going home. I'm done. Check this out. This is awesome.
I saw that right before I came on. That's funny.
Oh, that's awesome. That's probably about what it's going to look like tomorrow. That would be my guess. We'll see what happens, though. I don't know. I'm, like I said, I am worried. I am worried. I see a lot of people going on, and they're just like so, like both sides, so certain that they're going to win. And I don't know. It's hard to think about. If I didn't tell you, I'm nervous. I'd be lying if I didn't say that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely nervous. And here's the deal. I have to say I'm nervous either way because, I want him to win by all means. But when he does win, then, pucker up because I have a feeling it's gonna be a bumpy ride for a while. Like I'd be staying out of any blue cities for a while.
Well, you remember last time, that was one of the things that I found to be like the biggest joke was, it's like, so, okay, the whole J6 thing. That was dumb for the people who did stupid things. But you know, they blow it. They you know, I
That's
can't
like
give my
5
whole thought on
people
that.
who did stupid shit.
Right. But you remember his inauguration in 2017 there? When, you know, he's at that. I mean, they were catching cars. I mean, that whole place was just a zoo. There were all that Antifa people going around everywhere. And I mean, it was
Every
absolutely,
city.
yeah, it was horrible, especially DC though. It was bad.
Portland, they were tearing shit up, knocking over statues, and oh my gosh, it was just.
And you notice that conveniently all stopped, you know, when all that stuff conveniently stopped when, you know, Biden got in there. Like all of a sudden statues weren't offensive anymore. And all of a sudden, you know, it was like everything magically fixed. No, all that shit's they pay those people to go out there and do that nonsense. It's, you know, it's obvious. And who's paying them? That's what I'd always like to know. You know, who really is paying these people?
They were too busy knocking down fence, barbed wire and stuff to mess with statues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's open that border. Get that border open. Get our new Democrats, boy. You know?
Yep. The 3 a.m. spikes, they're going to come back.
Yeah.
I guarantee that.
Well, they're already, I've seen some press releases from, or, you know, from their campaign, like what they're sending out their people locally from the DNC to, like, you know, their headquarters in, you know, Georgia or Pennsylvania to their teams and stuff like that. You know, it's kind of preparing people. It's going to look bad the night of the election, but just give it time. Give it a few days. We'll win. So, you know, I don't know. I just have a feeling it's going to be 2020 all over again, but trying to stay positive about it. But I just,
Dude, I know when I snapped that, you know, that Biden had won, you know, I knew the dude stayed in the basement the whole time he was campaigning, if you want to call that a campaign. And yet he got more than anybody ever votes. He got ballots. He didn't get votes. I'm sure he beat Trump in ballots, but he didn't beat him in votes. In my humble opinion, and that's allegedly.
Allegedly.
And
hey, Ben.
I'm just saying, you know, I mean, what if Trump beats 81? Look, god dang, he's gonna have to go do 90. Kamala gonna have to do 90. You know, come on.
I think it's going to help with the people. You know, I've always been a big fan of Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. Even before he ran for president, I was a big fan of the stuff that he talks about. So I think he's gonna get a lot of those voters that weren't going to vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, I think that's huge with the RFK and the Tulsi Gabbard, you know, jumping on his team. That's huge.
That's so huge. And Elon, come on.
Yeah, and now you're getting Joe Rogan. I mean, Joe Rogan's got, he's got a huge following.
12 million people. It's a lot of millions.
And I think people, you know, I think taking Elon Musk's advice is probably better than taking, you know, who are some of these people that got up there and endorsed Kamala at these little concert things that they have?
Liz Cheney, we got Eminem or
Cardi B.
Cardi B. That was
Cardi B. That was the golden one. That was the golden one. It's like Cardi B, you know.
Like she was mad they were making her do it.
It's like she told me she was going to fix grocery prices. She ain't gonna lie to my face. I'm like, well, her administration is in power. Why don't they do something the last 4 years?
Yeah, that's another ridiculous thing there. They're like, well, y'all could have fixed this in 4 years, but now you're telling us, oh, it's gonna all get better now. So, we'll see we'll see how that works out. What's up, Joey? How you doing tonight?
What up, Ben?
Joey,
What's up?
Dinosaur Man, what's up?
We can't hear you, Joey. I don't know if your audio's not.
Guys?
Oh, there you are. What's going on, Joey? How you doing tonight?
Yeah. Not a lot. Just I don't know if my internet's going to work very good. I'm still not set up here, but wanted to come in with you guys, say what's going on.
Not a lot. What do you think about how is it? We're kind of curious. We've been talking to everybody telling. What's it like when you go and vote? What's the voting process there in West Virginia?
Well, I mean, you can vote early, obviously, but it's really like I walk in, and when I walk in tomorrow, because I'll vote tomorrow, I'll walk into my precinct, wherever they have it at, which is at the school here locally. I'll walk in there and I'll tell them I'm Joey Foster and tell them my address, and that's it. And they give me a slip to go vote. They don't ask for ID or anything.
Well, I got to get there before you and vote for Kamala. I'm Joey Foster.
Yeah, tell them where I live. LW, tell everybody where I live. What's my address, LW?
Well, I'll text it to everybody.
Right. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat right here. We'll see if anybody else wants to take a ride to West Virginia just to steal Joey's vote.
Steal my vote. Well, it won't do them no good in West Virginia, because I'll tell you right now, everybody in West Virginia is voting for Donald Trump, except for two of my neighbors who are just friggin' idiots.
Move.
Well, I think the last time Joey voted for real was when Buchanan went in,
No, it was George McGovern. I voted for George McGovern.
You voted for George McGovern? Okay.
Whoa. McGovern.
Oh, that's funny. So there's no ID or anything like that there?
No, they don't require an ID. Just go in and tell them who you are and where you live, and that's it.
So
they
it's
hand you
basically
a voting slip, and you go and vote.
So basically the same as it's basically the same as like Duggar was saying. That's the same thing there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard, but did you hear that Gunners, like where she lives, you can't even go vote. You have to mail your ballot in or drop it in a drop box.
I know, that's the wildest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Isn't a republic that's a democracy republic all about going and voting, and showing up at the polls? I thought that's what it was all about.
I don't know. I guess not.
Frankeny.
I don't want to say exactly where Gutters is, but it's up in that Pacific Northwest. So I guess they don't really care up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's up there and like well, I'm not gonna be mean, but yeah, she's out there in the land of the Democrats. Let's just say that.
Basically, just Southern Canada.
Sorry, Joey. I didn't mean to put you on there like that. I hit the wrong button. I accidentally clicked on the thing. This new StreamYard like format with all these like different options. I'm trying to learn it here and I keep messing it up, but yeah, I don't see like in Georgia. I mean, the turnout here has already been so massively huge, and I can't see Georgia going to Kamala. I just really can't.
Well,
there's no
enthusiasm. What do y'all think about the Iowa poll? I don't know if you guys have talked about that yet or not, but like the Iowa polls are saying that Harris is going to win Iowa. I don't see that.
Yeah, LW, you were talking about it. I haven't really looked at it. You looked at that, didn't you, LW?
Yeah, it was just one poll, and then I saw another one where she was slightly leading it, and then they had in another poll Trump up by 10 there. So who knows, man? I don't know. Iowa's always a weird red state. They're more of like rhino Republicans there, so who knows?
Yeah, but I've seen polls where in Michigan Trump was up by 10. So and that's probably not going to happen. I mean, I think that Trump will have a good showing in Michigan, but I still feel like Harris will win that. And then you look at Wisconsin, pretty much the same thing. But yeah, you look at North Carolina and Virginia, I think both those states are going to go for Donald Trump, and then Pennsylvania is going to be a deciding factor. I mean, and right now, I have to say, Pennsylvania is probably going to go Trump. So,
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I sure hope it does. I sure
Well,
hope it
from
does.
what everybody says, if it does, then we're good.
Yeah, I think if Pennsylvania goes Trump, I mean, that's going to be, but you know, the shitty thing is, like we were saying, they're not going to tell us. We won't even know until, you know, days and days and days which way it goes.
it won't matter anyway, because the day after the Wednesday, there were articles of impeachment written up for Donald Trump if he wins. So it won't matter anyway.
So
'Cause you
they're,
know,
they're already,
Impeachments don't mean nothing. So what? They impeach him, and then fucking life goes on. I mean, the
Yeah.
at least last ones, it didn't do anything.
well, exactly. But they're just trying to run it into the ground, and they're going to try to destroy his presidency and try to make things bad. Problem is, he ignored it last time, and things got a lot better. How's it going to be this time? That's what I worry about. Can he ignore it once again, and things get better, and people actually realize that things got better? They put so much smoke and cloud up last time that who knows what they're going to do this time? Because there was smoke and cloud over his last presidency, which made him look like a terrible president. He was really a very, very good president. So that's what I think. I mean, I just see them. It doesn't matter if he wins or not. They're going to cloud it up. The whole presidency is going to be overrun with who knows what it's going to be this time. Probably Hitler conspiracies, because last time it was Russian conspiracies and Russian collusions and and this time now they're hollering he's a Hitler and he's going to take over the world. So they're going to keep trying to make his presidency fail. The problem is he succeeds, and I just don't know what's going to happen from all this.
Well, I think if he ends up with it, I think that it will be a little bit different on how he handles things than he did last time. I think he'll be in a fast action mode. I think a lot of shit will be cleaned up in a very short time. And remember, last time he had 4 more years to think about. This time he doesn't. This is it for him. So I think he's going to push everything that he can. And I think he will. There's a lot of things I think that he will do really. I think it'll be fabulous for the things that he will clean up. But there are some things that make me a little nervous. But we'll see how he does. But I do believe I think that he will see a different side of Trump than we seen last time, where he was a little slow at getting his feet wet. This time his feet are already wet. He's already got the webs, grown in there between each toes, and he's ready. He just needs to get in the water and start swimming.
Well, last time one of his biggest mistakes was the people that he brought in. He didn't know what he was getting into. So all of a sudden he had all these people who were out to get him. They were not. They were, wolves in sheep's clothing, sitting there just waiting to, come in there and tell him all wrong and get him in charge, like leading him towards doing things that they were going to come back and get him for. He's not going to do that again.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're still trying to do that, TF. I mean, just look at the comments from what's his name, that general, and his warmonger Secretary of State. I mean, they're still trying to come back and get him with their statements today from the past administration. And honestly, I mean, if people would just sit and think, he did a really good job. We had very, very good energy prices here in the country. We had a lot of jobs created. A lot of people were about to work. Housing market was not in a crisis. at all. There was no wars going on around the world. There was no wars, nothing. It was just it was good, and so he had a really good presidency. And they're still trying to bring him down with everything they say. I watched an ad today again about how he's Hitler and you know and I don't know. I just don't understand it. I mean, I can't figure it out because look, I've been around for a long time. You know, I mean,
We know.
if people could, yeah, if people could remember, honestly, if people could remember Jimmy Carter, even Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was a great president, but there was some controversy during his presidency. Bill
Oh,
Clinton,
yeah.
a lot of controversy during Bill Clinton's presidency that I felt like was unprecedented myself because I didn't give a shit if he slept with some girl in the Oval Office or not because I would have done the same damn thing. You know, that girl would have had white stains all over her blue dress if I was in the Oval Office, so I didn't care about that. You know, but the
Just
stuff
beware.
we're trying to put on
Ju-
Donald Trump is ridiculous compared to Bill Clinton.
What
Just
was
be
that,
wary-
LW?
I was going to say, just be wary of which cigars you smoke.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, I sit over here, ain't said nothing for a while. I just got to give, first off, I'm going to pay tribute to Gutter's analogy of the web toad for Trump about getting ready for these people. He's trained for them, and I agree with that fully. I think he came in all crazy and stupid last time thinking he's king of the world, and then it hit it in the face day one. Hey, you're the president, stupid, and you don't know what's going on. And he didn't know who to trust. He didn't know where to go, how to turn to. But, you know, now he's pretty deep in it. He kind of knows the way around. He's got maybe people he trusts. Let's hope the people he trusts aren't worms. You know what I mean? As far as election voting and all that, I think it's in the bag pretty much that he's going to win it. If he doesn't win tomorrow, it's gonna. God bless this country. That's all y'all need to keep in your hearts. Ask for blessings for this country because we're a fucked up, sad situation.
Yeah.
You know, this is all snafu. If you know what I mean. What I mean by snafu, situation, normal, all fucked up. But
I agree, Douglas.
I
I agree with you. I think like you, Douglas. I really worry about after tomorrow what's going to happen because either the left or the right's going to be totally pissed, and are we headed towards civil war in this country? And I worry about that because there is so much talk out there and so much going on and so many people against other people, and this one hates that one, and hey, you know, and it's like we are all against each other anymore. And go ahead, Douglas.
I think the Supreme Court in the end is going to have to be the ones that, like they did at one time. Who was it? Gore and Bush. I mean, Bush and somebody against somebody, and he won that through that. But I think the Supreme Court's going to end up having to make the decision what's going on, what needs to be reviewed about this election, because no matter what, there's going to be they project everything. Oh, there's going to be shit going down on this that, you know, it's going to take a long time. We can't make it a bona fide election. So they're going to challenge it and refuse to acknowledge the election of Donald Trump, which I think is going to end up in the Supreme Court.
Well, I as a Republican, I feel like everybody I talk to seems like they're voting for Donald Trump, right? But that's probably the people I associate with. That's why I'm talking to them. So I understand that. But there's a lot of people out there that are on Harris's side, and so there's like a total split in this country. And I agree with you. It could come down to the Supreme Court deciding this election. It could be pretty much a 50-50 split. And that's why I'm really worried about, could there be a civil war here? I mean, I don't want it to be. I'm hoping it doesn't. But you know, and it don't have to be a civil war like the Civil War of the past, where people are dying by musket shots or even rifle shots or whatever. It could just be a civil war to where rights against the left, totally, and this could go on for years. This might go on for another 15, 20 years before it breaks out an all-out war. But this could be the beginning of that war, and I worry about that.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, like, nobody wants that to happen. And I don't. No, not at all. How you doing, Dave Brown?
Not too bad. I didn't see any Trump signs again while I was traveling around today.
Uh-oh. So, hey, Dave, so we're asking everybody, Dave, when you go vote, what's the in the state that you're in? What's the process? I'm kind of curious.
Well, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's a paper ballot. So fill in the the little dark circle or whatever.
But before you get the ballot, like when you first walk in that door, that's what we want to know. Like, and then how too as well. But yeah.
ID, basically usually a driver's license, but of course y'all know I got my temporary, so it's a piece of paper, but it had my picture on it. And I think they also looked at my social security card, which I took with me.
Wow.
But yeah,
That's not for to be used for identification, by the way.
But it's fed into a scanner, so you've got to trust the machine. I don't know if it's a Dominion machine or not. Not sure whether Dominion handled the scanners or the central location of the information, votes sent to them to be accumulated.
So they give you a pen or a marker, and you fill in a little bubble, and then you scan it in, or you take it up there and they scan it.
I scanned it. Yeah, they point to the machine, tell you whatever, and make sure you got it the right side up, and all that, top, forward, or whatever. Right. Yeah. And we personally will feed it into the machine.
So there is voter ID then. I mean, you have ID.
In Kentucky, yes.
Yes. So you heard what Gunners was saying earlier. They have to mail theirs. There's not even they can't even show up and vote. They have to mail their ballots in, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. But
what state is that?
California, of course.
Oregon.
Oregon. California. Not to be personal, but I mean, it's just curious. Like, the first state to vote in the morning will be Maine at 5 a.m. So that's just 4 hours away. Wow. Everybody else starts at 6 or even 7 and 8, even more in some other states. Smaller.
Yeah, I wonder where is the first place to vote?
Maine.
Well, would it be Maine or would it be so they open theirs at 5 a.m.?
Mm-hmm.
I just wondered if it didn't like maybe even one of these islands, or you would think, I'm
all you know what I mean? All American islands are to the west, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, no, I mean, you got
nobody is far enough. Bermuda's not ours. Bahamas not ours. There's nothing in the Atlantic that's in a different time zone that I'm aware of.
What about Puerto Rico?
I'd say they're probably the same time as Miami.
We think maybe so.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, though. That's a good point.
I'm curious. I don't know the answer.
The American Virgin Islands are another example. Some of the Caribbean islands.
Does Guam? Did we get votes from Guam or?
Yeah, but that's backwards in time.
No, they're the next day ahead of us.
Oh.
So I'm just kind of curious how I don't know necessarily that they do.
You might be right. They may be done if they're basically a half day ahead of us. Or nearing done. It's 4 in the afternoon. I don't know. We'll have to check the time.
I'm checking it out right now. Does Guam?
Good thinking.
Dixville Notch in New Hampshire votes at midnight tonight. Vandy said.
Oh, good one. See, there are a few odd circumstances. That's
that sounds like a Harris territory.
Right.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
only allowed to cargo vans.
Right. Dixville, it's right next to Bend Over. Oh.
You take it, you filthy. Wow. It's here, election day.
Yeah, it is. Vandy Dandy, for your sake, I hope you don't lose money. on that, but for everybody else in the United States' sake, I hope you do.
Oh, I hope you lose your ass, Randy. Sorry.
Love you, Vandy, but you know.
That's why they're bitching about the electoral vote. She actually did win the popular vote.
Here we go. Look at this. We got a Gumby endorsement here.
Hey. You just go get that white powder and go suck your thumb.
Oh, geez, I'm catching up with the chat. Hey, what's up, Kitty Kate? Good to see you in here. Good to see you. Tip top. What's up? Anybody else see? Sorry, I was looking up that other stuff. Can't quite figure out what's going on with Guam yet, but so Tip Top's saying it was 3-3, and we'll see. So I don't know. I'll look into that a little more, but
I think I disagree with him. I think Trump's going to win the popular vote.
You think Trump will actually win the popular vote? I don't think he'll win the popular vote. It's like we were saying with the last election. I mean, yeah, Biden won by, I don't know how many, 7 or 8 million votes, allegedly. But he really only won by about 40,000 votes?
Well, is it popular illegal votes or popular legal votes or both? Because, I mean, there's a difference. Like, you're going to get 3 different. Well, 2 different.
Like the states like California. How are they able to pad their stats? Because they don't ask, just like that video I saw today.
Yep.
They don't ask anybody for any sort of ID.
Right.
And they won't let you review the ballots.
In Oregon, when these illegals came in and got their driver's license or their ID, they were given information on how to sign up and register to vote. Well, how in the hell does that work?
And Douglas, like you said, they won't let us review the ballots, and that's a sad thing. That it's not going to be just regular people like us reviewing this ballots. It's going to
common sense.
People that either far left or far right or whatever that area wants.
Well, actually, you are allowed to have some of each, but the problem is they pick and choose on how many. So they'll say, well, we'll have 1 apiece. Well, one person cannot watch every ballot that's going to a machine counts them. Right. And there's like 10 people putting all those ballots into this machine. So you cannot, one person just can't watch. I mean, there's just no way. So that's why I said people have got to sign up.
Now, wait a minute. Dave Brown could watch that. Dave Brown could watch 10 people at one time, and I'd feel really confident that he could get it all right and know if there was some illegal ballots going through there. So you can't say all people wouldn't, because I know Dave Brown would be able to do that. Probably. Dave Brown, couldn't you watch 10 ballots going through a machine at one time?
I can do the tennis match. I do the tennis match.
But you ain't gonna watch. But you ain't gonna watch 100 in 10 different machines. You're not gonna. It's not gonna happen. No. And so that's the deal. Is you've got to have a bunch of people, and that's why I say we all have to start signing up for poll watching and that sort of thing. We've got to be able to stand behind it and go, no, you're not kicking us out of the election, center while you count all these ballots. We need to be here. We need to see what the hell you guys are doing.
Like what happened to Detroit and Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
What about Atlanta last year? Remember, it was like 2:30 in the morning, and they're like, "Oh, we have a major water leak. We have to stop counting." And they sent everybody home, and then they started counting again. As soon as people got out of
here in the county that I live in, they actually did that in 2022, where the 2 people that were watching, they told them they had to leave because they were behind and they needed to hurry up and catch up. So they kicked them out of the office and then closed the blinds and proceeded to count the ballots without them there.
Yeah, well, and in Atlanta, that major water leak in Atlanta turned out to be a leaking toilet. It's like, come on.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is that's happened in so many places just little things, right? Just little things that pop up. And if you look around the country and the entire country right now, not just individual states, but the entire country, who runs it? The Democrats. So what's that tell you? I mean, it's like all these little things keep popping up and they're in office. So who's the corrupt ones here? You know, that's how I feel.
Yeah, they have the Senate. They don't have the. We still hold the Congress by a very small margin. But what it all comes down to, anytime a machine that's supposed to be its only job to count a vote and tabulate the vote, and it has any other functions than that in it, should be an illegal machine. And all of a sudden, all across the United States, they're having glitches on these machines, and it's been in the news. I'm not making this up, so it's not allegedly. It's what they allegedly said allegedly was done. So anyway, they cover our ass there. But anyway, who am I? I'm stupid. I don't know about these things. But just to have the idea that any time that you can't see the F vote being counted when you hand it in, I mean, it's ridiculous, because there's too many things can happen, and votes get gas thrown on them. They disappear. They fall out of back of trucks. I mean, we've seen everything already in this voting cycle, and the election isn't due tomorrow. That's just the early voting. What's going to go on when the polls open? Is that when the bats and stuff come out, or what? And the bricks?
Well, that's like I was getting at earlier. They need to fix these problems, and they should have done it a long time ago, because it's important that people have like faith in the integrity of an election. And if they leave it so open with all these wishy-washy, no voter ID and no this and that, you know, that just casts doubt in people's minds. So as soon as that happens, then you have these problems come up. If they would just secure the goddamn things, then nobody could ever bitch about it. I mean, we live in 2024. We're supposedly, you know, going to Mars soon, you know, and stuff like that. Like, you know, can't we vote first?
Yeah, like one of those state. Go ahead, Gigi. Sorry,
I'm sorry. That was one of the things that Trump and his team was trying to do, was go to the states and make sure that the voting process was done fairly and make sure everything was in order. But the problem was when you would go, because they would ask you for your help, like to go and watch, you know, the polls or whatever it is, to go in and sign up to be in the office and do whatever it is that they need you to do to, you know, help people vote. But the problem is they only do it for so many states. There's only like, I think 14 states in their little list that they have on their website where they were cleaning those states up to make sure that things, you know, that the votes would be counted honestly. So my point to that is for, you know, we don't all live in those 14 states. It'd be nice if they would have done it with every state and made sure that they were all cleaned up. But I'm sure there was a reason why they didn't, which is probably because they don't have anybody here to make sure that those states were getting cleaned up, even though, you know, I mean, they had a whole team on every one of these states and making sure that all the voter issues were cleaned up and straightened out before the election came. But
is that the crook just setting?
Well, let me LW. What were you going to say before that?
It was just to your point about, you know, talking about going to Mars. I forget which state it was, talking about hand counting the ballots. And their reasoning was, we don't have enough time to train them to count them. I'm like, we're talking about, like you said, going to Mars, but you can't get 20 people in a precinct. Hey, count those pieces of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is what I want to touch on here. And it's like Dave Brown saying here, standardized voting system, all states the same, is my goal. Now, the problem with that is see, the government, our federal government can't come in there. And I like this, but I think states should be more I mean, it's on the state to preserve the sanctity of our elections. Now, it's not the federal. We are the United States, all right. We've had civil wars over states' rights. We've had all kinds of things. We are the United States. Each state gets to decide how their people are voting, and I do like that. I don't want the federal government. States are supposed to be more powerful than the federal government. The federal government is supposed to make sure that everything stays together. States are supposed to make their laws, and of course the federal government, things that are important like the rights, standard basic rights that are issued out into the Constitution that every state signed to join, pursuit of happiness, right to life, all that nonsense. We don't want the federal government to come in there and all of a sudden take over, because then it's all run by whoever decides in the federal government that which parties running the government can choose those rules and things like that. I do like that states do it differently, but I think these states that do it ludicrously need to, that's your job. Like Gutters, like you've been saying before, that's your job as a person of Oregon to go out there and fix your own government,
Right. I agree. I do agree with that. And that's kind of why they kind of led me down that road of when I went to the site where Laura Trump had talked about, go to this site and it'll tell you, how to go to your state and help wherever you can. And so when I went there and they didn't have anything for Oregon, that's when I started going down the whole rabbit hole of trying to find out who I could get in touch with to, start doing poll watching and those sorts of things. Because it wasn't as easy as just to go here and sign up. It's not that easy at all. I mean, every state is different, but I can tell you with Oregon, and trying to go watch as a registered Republican was not easy. And I mean, I've only signed up and I still haven't heard anything back. And it's been, I don't know, over a month.
Because they don't even call you back. They don't even want you there. So if they just ignore it. What
right.
I guess
exactly.
You up in their face again then.
Hey, what's up, Polska Bob? Good to see you.
Hey, Polska. And Oilers, it's TF stream, so I didn't post. That's how come the link's not posted.
Yeah, we might drop the link here in a minute and let people come up and give us their thoughts. We were just kind of hashing this out amongst ourselves here real quick, but I'll drop the link here in a minute and people can come up. Yeah, so the states' right thing, I think we do have to say, well, you understand what I'm saying there, Dave, don't you? I mean, I wasn't like trying to shoot down what you were saying.
Yeah, I understand, but I still believe that the safest thing is still to try to standardize it.
I know, but it's never the safest. It's never the safest thing to put the government, machine in charge of us. Imagine if it's like there's so many things like that sound so good on like, oh, that would make total sense. But then when it's like red flag laws, you know what I mean? Well, yeah, everybody can sit there and go, yeah, this person might be crazy. They don't need to have a gun. Well, tomorrow, who's deciding who's crazy? And that's why these things go into these issues, because now you get in a stupid little argument with your neighbor or a pissed off ex-girlfriend or, blah, 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 somebody like that. They all of a sudden say, oh, they're saying, and then some judge, you don't know who the judge is going to be. Now they've taken away your Second Amendment rights to do it just like that, because now who's in charge of deciding who's crazy and who's not? Red flag laws sound great on paper. They sound like it would be a wonderful thing, but who's deciding who's crazy tomorrow or next week or a year down the road or 10 years down the road? As soon as you open that, it's Pandora's box. It's just like the NIL in college football.
Yeah, because on your ballots, like mine, most of the people I'm voting for are local. I live in a highly populated area, so, just within a few miles, there's different precincts. Like I have a friend who lives 7 miles away, half of their ballot are different local people because they live in a different precinct. They have different school district. You're voting for all these other things. So I like to keep it local, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the way it's supposed to be. That is the way, that's the way our government's set up. Our government isn't set up to be run by the federal government. Our government's set up to be run by the states. That's why it's the United States.
And it's not set up for people who make careers out of it. You're supposed to go in there, do your 8 years or so, and go back to, say, you was a farmer and you came in and was a representative. Okay, your time's up. You did a couple terms. Go back to your farm. And the next feller picks up the rods and goes. That's what it is. We need term limits. I just think it's the right thing to do for the House and the Senate is term limits.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be. Our government wasn't set up to be career politicians running our country at all. It was set up to be, Dave Brown, the farmer, or Mr. Duggar, the fisherman, these people go and they do their, 2 terms, 1-2 terms, right, and represent their people. Not like we're supposed to be. We're subjects now is how they treat us.
Yeah, you were supposed to, Dave the farmer was supposed to be a farmer, go serve in office, and then when he's out after a couple of terms, go back to being a farmer. Not.
I think if you go back a couple hundred years, you'll see a lot of people were career politicians.
But Dave the farmer, then a politician, then he's worth $17 million. I don't think that's the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah. Isn't that worth like 17 million? Just think your name was Pelosi, you'd be worth over a couple $100 million or more. I mean, they've taken fully advantage of that, but I think it all starts with term limitation and full disclosure of spouses and their income and family members, because a lot of times they use family members to shuffle the money around. But we're not going to talk about anybody that was allegedly doing that.
No. I like that one Twitter account or X account that's like totally dedicated to her stock, like her stock trades.
I was just about to say that. I wonder if her stock trades the last couple of weeks would tell us who she thinks is going to win.
Well, I'm sure they would. We should have checked that one out. But.
Like, does she know Trump is going to win, and she's like pumping money into the oil industry? You're like, oh, well, she knows Trump's going to win.
Yeah, I sure do hope he wins, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm worried. I'm not. I thought it was in the bag last time. I really did. I was like, he's going to win again. And then after last year, but those were different circumstances. Election rules were changed. So many of those votes were not constitutionally, according to states' constitutions, they weren't legitimate votes. And I mean, that's a fact. People can argue that to death, but they made last minute changes to things that are only allowed to be done through, state Congresses voting on these. And those votes were not constitutionally passed in a whole lot of states.
Yeah. That happened in Pennsylvania and a couple other places.
Georgia. I mean, Georgia was one of the places that's what happened. I'm not one of those people who thinks that all these machines changed everything. I think they just used mail-in ballot voting and just flooded the thing. They did Jerry, what the hell's it called?
I think it needs to start on a local level, though. I mean, seriously, we just need to change our local level and then branch out from there. I mean, because we can have a great president, right? That is standing for what most of us believe in, but then we have these little local governments that, like where I live, for instance,
governors.
Yeah, well, not governor of this state. The governor of this state's great, Jim Justice. He does a great job. But I'm just saying, local government. Like for instance, down in today or in the last week down in Kissimmee, Florida, Kissimmee, Florida. How you pronounce that? They had 11 police officers that had to resign because they went in without a warrant and not only arrested a man in his own home, but tased him like 7 times, beat the hell out of him. And it turns out they had a Democrat, allegedly, that they had a Democrat police chief, and you know, so I don't know. I think that I don't know what the mayor is down there, Gonzalez. I don't know if he's Republican, Democrat, or what. But I mean, it's like, you know, it has to start on a local level. It has to start somewhere locally that we've got to get a hold on this. And you know, not everything's bad on police officers' parts. I don't mean like that. I just mean like we have to start on a local level.
I thought you were talking about the one where they took the squirrel and the raccoon and killed them.
Oh, that's absolutely horrible. But yeah,
because they were helping them.
Poor little Peanut.
I know Peanut really did.
But, you know, back to blue till it happens to you.
Oh man, them people ought to be taken and caned in the middle of the street.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Or at least made to listen to Pelosi talk for 2 hours with Kamala by her side.
Yeah, that would be like, I don't know what level of Dante's hell that would be, but just to have to like listen to them talk to you. Like, imagine if you had to just sit there and listen to Little Drummer Boy play while Kamala hackles, you know, for the rest of eternity. It would be.
Oh man,
turkey neck, man.
I mean, if she wins, for my sanity, I just have to tap out for a few years and just vote, worry about my local election. Like Joey was saying, I won't be able to watch all this national news with that lady cackling about.
Thought you're going to get away, dearie. Yeah. Get your little dog, too, and your squirrel.
Yeah, she's absolutely horrible. And nobody voted for her, so yeah, you know, I don't think, I really don't. I think Trump's going to win. I think he's going to win big, but that's just what I think. I was wrong last time, and I thought that. So you know,
I was. You could have knocked me over with a Kleenex. What?
Trump. I know. I'll never forget sitting up watching it and going to bed at like 2 o'clock. 1:30, 2 o'clock, and I'm like, this is sewed up. I was already like walking around like people woke up the next morning. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
You know, like, damn, Pennsylvania, midnight, he's up by 600,000 votes. All right, time to go to bed.
I don't know if anybody's actually listened to when they're talking with people about who are voting for Kamala Harris as to why they're voting for her. But I'm telling you that 95% of the people, I kid you not, say women's rights.
Yeah.
Women's rights. Okay. What? Okay. I don't know. I mean, let's all play stupid, but do we all know what that means? Women's rights. I mean, that's what you're going to vote on is that.
And they're right. They have that right in whatever hell state they're in anyway. You know, usually the ones that are bitching about it.
They have every right we do, except we have one extra. We have to sign up to go die in a war.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. Women have more rights than men when it comes to like abortions and things like that, because men have no say in it. So, you know, you want to talk about women's rights. Women have more rights.
Well, he run that gutters.
We go. What's up, Spicy Peach? Who else I see coming here? We got Mike LaRusso. We got Uncle Fatty in here. What's up, Uncle Fatty? Uncle Fatty's rooting for Kamala, but that's fine. That's the world we live in. Everybody's allowed to believe who they want.
Women's health care, meaning what?
That's fine. No, people are allowed to believe whatever they want. Good to see you, Uncle Fatty. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, right.
You know?
It's cool. Not all men have penises.
No, Joey, he's not talking about you.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry. I was just joking. I saw that on a T-shirt somewhere.
yeah.
I got a new.
That's when you bought the two. You know, you were going there, and it was like, you know, 2 T-shirts for $20, and you bought that one, and the other one that says $20 is $20.
I got us both one.
I'm sorry, I had to mute my mic. You bet was laughing so hard when y'all talked about little ones and stuff. So.
That's hilarious. $20 for $20.
Poor Joey. So I made up a couple new T-shirts, and did you see the one new T-shirt, Fools?
No, I haven't seen it. What you got? You can share it. You can share it, and I'll put it up on screen if you want to.
Okay.
Are you?
Yeah. Oh, you've already got it. Look at that.
He's ready.
Oh, I did see this one. I did. I saw you show this the other night. It's like the Pornhub, but it's Gutters Pub.
God, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but then underneath it, but it says where a man is still a man.
I like that. I want one of these. How do I get one of these, Gutters?
Well, you just need to go to topqualityshirts.com and you can just order yourself up one right there. They have them in all kinds of different colors. 5, matter of fact.
I might have to get me one of those. I got to cash in my gift card soon.
Yeah,
So,
you've got gift cards.
Check this out. Look at this one. Love this one. Well, I'm. It does its thing. You see it yet?
Look at that. It looks like magic.
Oh, a tinfoil hat. I like that too. I need one of those. Do they make those in orange, like Miami orange? I think that would be a good color.
Oh, they don't.
But so yeah, if anybody knows where to find this cool apparel at, this is it right here.
I don't deserve this shit. I deserve top quality shit. It's disgusting.
We all deserve top quality shit. So head on over to topqualityshirts.com. Whether it's Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas, or you just need some cool swag for yourself, topqualityshirts.com, it's where it's at.
There you go. Head on over to Top Quality Shirts. That's where you get this
And
cool.
just so if anybody needs a pillow.
Gutter does an amazing job at designing some of this stuff that she does.
Well, thank you, Joey. It's fun, actually. But
It is fun to mess with that kind of stuff to go on there.
it is.
And do it.
Anyway.
Oh, look at this. I haven't even seen. Look at this, Gutters. You've got all kinds of stuff on here.
So, by the way, everybody, so I've got BBD in the store now. Now, we do not have his merchandise in there yet, but I spoke with BBD the other day, and we came up with a logo, and it's going to be kind of a surprise logo. So, letting everybody know, Big Ball Daddy is coming in the store, and he's going to have a little surprise logo for everybody.
Yes, A4, you can get a Pigskin Pete.
Yeah, so he doesn't have anything in there yet, but we will eventually get his stuff put in there.
A4 wants to know if you can get a
Big
Pigskin
PC Live
Pete.
will be.
Yeah, Gunners, your internet goes to shit when you pull this stuff up.
There.
I was wondering why she disappeared every couple of seconds.
Yeah, Gutters, your internet's not quite running your voice and pulling this stuff up, but
I know. Every time. So okay. I'm gonna stop.
yeah, I'm like the guy now. I can flex because I have good internet. You know, I was the person for years and years that had like the worst internet on the internet. So
No, yours was
And
not.
yet you said,
nothing
"Hey,
like mine.
Gunners, just show yours."
But yeah, A4, just topqualityshirts.com. You can go over there, go in there. You can get Mark Rogers swag. You can get Traveling Full stuff, Gutters Pub, Vic BC, Exploring with Ben and Sam, Pigskin Pete, like I know I'm forgetting Rooster, BBD's coming in there as well. All kinds of people. So just head on over there, check it out.
Yeah, you
Ben
know you're.
Pam. Boy, I gotta give Ben a call in the morning to tell him. Ben and Pam. I like that.
You go on Fools and you got people arguing who's got the worst internet. I think it's the quality of the internet on this program is greatly improved.
Yeah, we can go back to the Jeff Webster days, and that
Oh
was
my God!
Oh wow!
It's glad we got LW here, though. He's the new Jeff.
Yeah.
I will have you know, sir, I have fixed my internet issues. So
Outstanding, young man. Do you need to charge it though?
no, but I'll still get pissed off and rage quit like JW. So we got to still have that going.
Okay. Hey,
Well, it's like, because I have Xfinity internet, which is supposed to be high, fast, moving, fucking all over the place. It's supposed to go like hell. And you see what happens as soon as I try to share something.
Hey,
Yeah, what's up, Heather? What's up, poor dirt farmer coming in here as well? Good to see you guys.
Speaking of farmers,
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know, a couple of you guys seem to think that this idea of serve 4 years and then go back to your farm thing, I told you it's been going on for 200 years. Career politicians, your idea might have been the case between 1780 and 1800. But the first example I thought of was Henry Clay here in Kentucky. And he was in politics from 1806 until 1852 as a representative, a senator, secretary of state, and a 3-time candidate for president. So
didn't Joe Biden run against him one time?
probably. But my point being is that I don't know, why you think for 20 years it was 4 years and back to the farm. I believe that it's basically the beginning.
Well, no,
it hasn't changed.
I'm almost 50. I don't remember that. I'm 47. I don't remember that in the 80s or anything like that. I don't think that was our point. I just think.
Well, I'm talking
about what I think what he was saying was what was originally intended, and back then those people also didn't come out,
Do you think what was intended
I don't know
in 20 years and has stayed the same for the last 220 years? That's why I'm questioning it. I'm not really sure that. It's nice to think that's a possibility, but are there theories or is there proof that was the original idea? I don't know. I'm just asking.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I think that's how there's exceptions to every rules. Back then, yes, you did have career politicians, but for the most part, you had your state Congress and things like that weren't career politicians. Now they're all career politicians, if that makes sense. So, I think exceptions to rules are, have always been, or of course you did have people, and of course you've always had career politicians, but it was supposed to be your neighbor, these are the people who are supposed to be representing you, not these people sitting up on these thrones that are now basically putting you as their subjects. That was kind of the point I was making earlier. But I do know that obviously you had people that were career politicians. They, from the beginning, there were those people, especially the ones on the top. But your local state representation isn't supposed to be some rock star, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or something, who, by the way, auditioned for her job, which is a fact.
But I do like the idea of term limits. That I wish they'd done that a long time ago. In each, we've got them for the presidential offices. Why not for Congress, both federally and locally?
Right, mayors and stuff like that. There's a lot of people that have term limits, but I think when you go back and look at their writings and their speeches and some of the Federalist Papers and stuff like that, that's not in law or anything like that. But what they talked about, because we fucked it up. I mean, okay, I'm with you there, but that wasn't their intention. That, you know, we had kings and queens and people that just ruled forever. That was the original intention. Whether it got messed up, obviously, but I think that's the point.
Yeah, we were never intended to have the Duchess of the Bronx or you know,
Right.
things like that. And it's kind of how it looks now, you know.
The Queen of Kings.
Right.
Or
That
King
was my
Queens, I'm
point.
sorry,
That was
King
my
of
point when
Queens.
I was getting at that earlier. Good to see you in here, Kitty XOXO. I'm glad. Look at that. You're not blocked anymore over here. So that's
Oh, TF, to that point, I
yeah.
found myself shadow banned still on the Bourbon account over at Jeffries and Wills.
Yeah, they've got your account. They're mad at you, Dave Brown.
No, it's the same thing. You know, I mean,
not those people individually. I mean, YouTube in the sense
Yeah.
they're mad at your account. The overlords,
Yeah,
are
right.
mad at your account.
It's because we were hanging out of gutters, I swear.
Yeah, I know it. Every time you go hang around in gutters, all shit goes to hell.
Hey guys, I gotta get out of here, but love all of you. And
good to see you, Joey.
Yeah, love you
talk to
too,
later,
Joey.
all right, man.
All right, man. Have fun voting tomorrow. Have fun voting.
Yeah.
Joey.
See you guys later.
Take
care, Night.
brother.
Deuces. You didn't vote today. You voted yesterday.
I voted Saturday, actually. Yeah, there's no voting on Sundays, I hope.
Yeah, I voted Friday, and so that was good. Got mine
I'm
done.
voting tomorrow. By Germ.
All right, I'll be right back. Y'all keep this thing going.
All right, let's burn it down.
Burn it.
All the people that, if anybody slipped in here and nobody said howdy to you, well, this howdy is for you. Howdy. I'm glad. How you do? How you doing? And we're glad to see everybody jump in here. You know, we're just trying to have fun, and we got this election going on. No matter who you vote for or who you for, you're welcome in here. We're not going to pin you down and call you names. We're going to pray for you, and if you don't want us to pray for you, that means we'll double down and pray for you twice. So y'all just take care of your little bitty selves and have fun and enjoy the show. None of us are specialists, but we're damn close. And because we're real Americans, and we want everybody to take their American right and vote tomorrow if you haven't voted. And that's all I got to say about that. So,
Well, if you're going to vote for Trump, go vote.
I've got a very large truck full of half pints to pass out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Half pints to get people to the polls.
To the Trump voters.
for my alcoholic
They
friends.
got their own booze. They don't need your booze.
Moonshine garnered a lot of votes in its day.
Oh, I'm telling you. At a buck or two. You know. But
Yeah,
you know,
that's a bud.
there's always been some kind of nefarious thing going on in votes when there's a power position, whether it's before or after, or during. You know, they get in there and then they pilfer, and they enrich themselves instead of doing the job they're promising to do. So, and I think we need to hold some of them accountable. I mean, this okay, we took it back from you, whoopie doo. You might win it back in 4 years, but we want the ones that are doing nefarious things on both sides. And I'm not talking just liberal or just conservatives. That's anybody that's breaking our laws and committing treason. You know, you're signed up to do a job. If you break the Constitution, you shouldn't work for our federal government, because that's their job to ensure our Constitution and guard our country and its people. And when you break that trust, you know, I just think you should be held accountable for it. And that's all I got to say about that. Maybe.
Yeah, there's bad people on both sides. There's bad people on not everybody's good, and you get it on both sides, but not everybody's bad on either side as well. So I mean, I did look at it like that.
Absolutely.
And
will you highlight Kaylin's comment?
Which
By
one?
the way, hello, Kaylin. Done.
Which one? I deleted my part.
Oh.
Two.
No. The says number 1, the 25,000 down payment toward.
I'm trying to find it. Shit. I'm trying, getters. I'm trying. Was it back up there a ways?
Yeah, just not that far. At 10:54.
Okay.
Says the $25,000 down payment towards Equity Act.
Oh, I got you. Okay, cool. There you go.
So, anyways, the $25,000 down payment towards the Equity Act, Equality, whatever, Equity Act, Kamala is selling people on hasn't been passed, and the Biden administration set it up in 2022. The eligible are socially and economically disadvantaged.
I wonder who's going to be applying for a lot of those.
Well, and it was set up in 2021, but it hasn't even passed yet.
Well, it won't pass. All this stuff they sell, they try to sell people on, and it just doesn't. It doesn't work. It doesn't pass. They say we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's not the president can't just make all these things happen. It's a lot. It has to go through Congress. It's got to go through Senate. All kinds of stuff.
Oh wait, she said. Eligible if Black, Hispanic, Asian, and Native American and people with disabilities. The stipulations are unreal. So it's not what she says. So you have.
Well, I'm retarded and my wife's Asian, so I got something going for me.
Yeah, you can get like 50, right?
Woohoo! I don't know. Maybe I can go back and change
Double
my vote
whammy.
now. God damn.
I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to identify as retarded and Asian.
Right.
I wonder about this. Are we going to retain the Congress? Are we going to take over the Senate? If we got complete control of the House and the Senate and Trump in office, I just think a lot more could get done.
I don't know.
Look, I mean, you really look back at Trump's last term. The first 2 years, it was full of a bunch of rhinos that were in there. They wouldn't get anything done. They didn't want to work with them. Everybody's going. Then the second 2 years, we didn't have control of those things to actually be able to pass things through Congress. And even then COVID came through and that nonsense happened.
And they were impeaching him twice.
Right. Well, they impeached him once during. The second one was after he was he wasn't even president anymore.
Yeah, that was cool.
I like Uncle Fatty's comment. I just read it in the Hulk Hogan voice. What you gonna do, brother, when Diaper Don loses again, brother?
Well, I hope that they maybe if Diaper Don loses again, one thing I do hope is that where was that comment at? Because I was actually looking at it too. I got to bring this one up.
Yeah, he's been on a rant for a little bit.
And that's fine. I mean, not everybody has to agree.
And I want you to tell everybody that we didn't harass you, call your names because you have your way of thinking. And we're
it's wrong, but you have your way of thinking. Oh, sorry.
Oh, here you go. All right. So I had to go up there and do that. So I lost it. But one thing I do hope, so Uncle Fatty says, what are you going to do when Diaper Don loses again? So one thing I do hope that the Kamala does set up is a spelling bee so you can enter, sir. So nobody loses. I guarantee you would lose a spelling bee. So, I'm just picking on you, Uncle Fatty, though. Good to see you in here. And, it's all fun and games.
Hey, it's all fun and games till the rubber band breaks. You know what I mean? And it slaps you.
Spicy.
Just have fun with it, man. I mean, we're all Americans. We don't have to agree on our politics. That's a good part about being American. You don't have to let
it would be horrible. It would be horrible, like if everybody thought one way or everybody thought the other way. I mean, the division of power is a good thing. It keeps everything from going too far one way or
I agree.
other way. And you really do want that because it is a country for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, these people who hate the other side or anything like that, to me, is just dumb. I mean, you don't want it to be like so far one way or so far the other way.
And how would it be to not be able to say, in your face, I told you he was going to win? Now,
I think you
got that.
Take an O from loses and put it where for gonna. Gonna louse again, louse.
Hey, but you're American and you can actually read it and tell what he was trying to do.
Dave's been thinking about that. He's like, wait a minute here. He just had his letters mixed up.
But you could read it. Okay. You were.
Kaylin said the rest of that is if your partner has or does own a home, if your parents ever owned a home, and other reasons, you're not eligible. And then she said, "I'll stop now."
Yeah. Okay. So I know what she's talking about. Yeah, it's that thing they were trying to pay. Yeah, so it basically gives people down payments, if I'm not mistaken. But you have to be not an American. It's kind of what it feels like is that thing. When you've been like a customer of Verizon for like 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. Dave Brown, you wouldn't know because you don't have a damn cell phone. But when you've been that and they give these insane offers to new customers, and you're like, DirecTV used to be bad about that. They'd basically give the shit away to the new people, but the people who've been paying for it forever, they're like, well, we're going to charge you $300 to come out here and upgrade, for your 15-year-old system. And it's like, what the fuck? So you cancel it and do it in your spouse's name. It's like they have to do that shit.
Well, what they're going to do, what that does, though, it's kind of like the student loan. Once the government guaranteed the student loan, that's when it jacked up to $150,000 for a degree. Because back in the day, people in my family, University of Alabama, University of Auburn, whatever university, they paid for their entire year of college each year by working a part-time job in the summer. So once the government guaranteed the loans, the colleges were like, we can chase you down for the rest of your life and guaranteed to garnish your paycheck. They're like, okay, it's $150,000. It'll be the same thing with the $50,000 for the home loan. They're just going to jack up the prices of the home. It's going to be worse than it is now.
But the whole thing with, we'll give it to this crew, but we won't give it to these others. It's kind of like how I feel like Marv's company turned their back on the mechanics, so to speak. It's to the point now where Marv used to have weekends off for, I don't know, 20 years. And now he can't get weekends off to save his ass. I mean, he can, but it takes a little bit, and he only gets a part of a weekend off, and just this, that, and the other thing that come into play. That it's just so much harder because it's like they don't give two shits about him anymore. And if I told you what company it was, you'd totally understand why I say it's completely woke. I mean, it's all DEI. It's an airline. So, and it's not about the guys that have been there for, 30 years working and making sure that their aircraft is staying up and all that. It's not about them. It's totally about, those DEI people, all the other people. It's a little frustrating.
Well, and that's the thing is it's the same thing with our country. When is it going to be about us? For just a minute, it's been about these other people for so long and all this other stuff. When can it just be about us? We're sending, all this money all over the world, all this stuff. We pay for that. It's coming out of our money. Yet we got starving, veterans and homeless people and, all kinds of stuff like that. But yet we're worried about all this bullshit. Let's just take that deep breath and tell everybody else to just, chill out for a minute. And
let's get our shit back in order. Then we can start, because I don't mind helping people, but we need to help our own first.
Mm-hmm.
The America First movement it's just gotten phenomenally big, and we took a lot of their votes. I'm telling y'all. I think we're in for a cinch win. I don't want to jinx it, but I think it's a cinch win. I think he's winning in a landslide. And I mean, come on, fight! Just shoot me in the air, come up swinging my fist at you, kiss my ass. I love that guy, dude. And and everybody's trying to put it. Oh, y'all are a cult. Why? Because we wear a red hat. Yeah, you're a cult with them red hats. You know, I mean, hey, come on. We're not a cult. We're just patriots. It's, you know, we're awake. We're not woke. And if you do a little free thinking, you'll see that we're not the ones not being transparent. And shenanigans can happen on both sides. I agree with that. We're Americans, though. Stop and think about it before you hate your fellow American because he wears a red hat or his skin color is red. Racism's the stupidest thing. The stupidest thing. You don't notice a man's color when he's in the foxhole right beside you, and they coming after both of you. So, you know, remember that. One of these days, you might have to do that right here on your own home turf. So,
yeah. Now I have to play this again. We got some people watching. Check this video out. I played it at the beginning, but there obviously at the beginning there weren't that many people here. But if this doesn't make you want to vote for Donald Trump, I don't know what I can tell you. Y'all check this out. This video was posted just a little while ago, and this is to me one of the best campaign ads ever.
What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we the people choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing!
Don't you want healthy children? Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
I come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again.
I mean, exactly, Heather. That is a dream team right there. I mean, you've got all these ex-Democrats. All these people are Democrats who are not Democrats anymore. And they're coming together as Republicans at this point, and doing this. If people can't get behind that, I don't know what to say. I don't necessarily can't live in other people's minds, but Jesus Christ, how do you vote against that?
That shit gives me goosebumps too.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I voted. I gave Tulsi. I've donated to Tulsi's campaign like $25 or something in 2020. I'm not some rabid. I was gonna vote. I voted for Trump, but I wanted his opponent to be a sane person. So at least if when I voted for Trump, if he lost, at least Tulsi Gabbard was like a sane Democrat. You know what I mean? So I kind of played both sides. That's how I think Americans should do it. You know, we're just so screwed up right now.
I mean, when you look back and look at even Obama or, you know, Bill Clinton, I mean, that like being a Democrat, that's not the same as what it is now. These people have gone absolutely batshit crazy. It's not the same. It used to be, yeah, maybe this person wanted to do this or they, you know, it was so. The issues aren't the same as they are now.
Yeah. That video has a whole, that's all positive and, you know, hopeful and stuff. That has like a lot of 1980 vibes to it compared to Jimmy Carter, you know, and that blowout. So hopefully that happens again tomorrow. Maybe it won't, but you know, all the energy is towards the other side, not Harris' side. I don't know. There's a lot of I hate Trump. That's not a thing to vote for.
Right. I agree, LW, with that. Like, how do you vote? I hate Trump, so I'm not going to vote Trump. So I'm going to vote for this nonsense. I'm going to vote for a clown fucking circus instead of voting for. You got Elon Musk, you know, going to go on there and be part of the, you know, part of the team. You've got RFK. You've got Tulsi Gabbard coming in there. I mean, I like Tulsi Gabbard. I'm not, you know, if she was president, I wouldn't be upset. You know, even though I don't think, you know, we won't get into that. But not Kamala Harris. I mean, Jesus Christ, she would be horrible.
Yeah, I can't even believe it.
And I saw people talking about, you know, Trump's a Putin puppet again. That Hail Mary they're throwing, you know, out at the last minute. When has Russia invaded other countries? When George W. was president, when Clinton was president, and when Joe Biden was president. Guess who they didn't invade another country? Well, Trump was president.
It was actually other than Democrat cities, in big blue, deep blue cities. There was a lot of peace going on during the time when Trump was president, other than our own people burning their own cities down. What's up, McLovin? Good to see you. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like the whole world was at peace. We were like, all this stuff was going on. Everything was going good. The whole world was starting to thrive, and boom, boom, boom. The only bad things that were going on were in, you know, our own cities being done by the people living there.
We'd take you, Flatty.
Shout out to LW and Traveling Fools. A little more research shows me that y'all are correct. They didn't want the career politicians, although we wound up with them anyway. That's why the elections were put into place. So y'all are right. And I just wanted to, you know, stand down and apologize.
No, there's nothing to apologize for. You were correct.
But sadly, we've fallen into it though. People have become comfortable with that guy that's been going for 4 and 8 and 16 and 20 years. You know, as far as the Senate and
Spicy, you ain't wrong.
I mean,
wish that wasn't the case, but we're sucked in. People, it's become a popularity thing. It was like, why should we change? He's been doing great for us, you know, kind of, you know.
Well, my thing is, it's kind of like, you know, I'm 47. Joe Biden was in office was before I was born. Do you know what I mean? So once you get in the system, people are like, well, who's in charge of the system? It's just the system. It just keeps rolling, you know, and they find the right people. And
anybody in there that long is bought and paid for.
Right. And then who they run against, whether, you know, they work their way up locally, in the House, and then they move up to the Senate, and then they move up to like a cabinet position. All along the way, they're getting. We live in an oligarchy right now, to be honest. The corporations and special interests and all that stuff, they own it, and these people just get bought and paid for, and they do whatever they say. And then when people run against them, it's like traveling fools. The guy in Georgia wants to run against some guy who's been in office for 30 years. Well, guess who gets commercials and guess who doesn't? Not traveling fools.
Damn it!
We'll take you too, Caleb. Everybody wants to move here. They don't want to. Of course.
Yeah, that's another thing. When they sit there and they go, like, oh, America's the most oppressive place in the world, and oh, America's the most racist place in the world, and oh, America's got all these problems. Why the fuck does everybody want to come here and go to some of these other places and see what it's like? Because it's damn sure this is not the most racist country in the world. People here get along. I don't give a damn about the color of anybody's skin or where they're from or where anything like that. I don't. Just come here and be a damn American. Don't come here and bring your nonsense with you. If you want to come here and be an American with the rest of us. That's the way I see that.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
Which is like what Flatty and Kaylin would both do. They'd be right in here digging in the trenches with us.
Yeah,
you don't want to come here and tear down what is supposedly so wonderful. You want to come here and bring it up and be a part of it. Like Mrs. Fools, she's not even an American citizen yet because they make it so goddamn hard to become one. She can finally apply after 10 years and all this money we've spent and jumped through all these hoops, but that's the way you're supposed to do it. There's other people they just railroad in and give all this money to that come here illegally. It pisses off the people who spend all this time and do it right and come and do the stuff. It's not fair.
It's just slapping her. That's like slapping her in the face.
Mm-hmm,
or
exactly.
pissing down her neck and tell her it's not right. I know a lot of people, and I really do not know a lot of people that became American citizens from another country, and they all had to jump through the hoops. Mm-hmm. And it's not right for somebody that first thing they do is break a law in our country to get into our country.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think I can't be emotional about it. Do I have empathy? Yeah, but I'm not going to get emotional about it. I know they want to be here, but the people you see coming over aren't a bunch of families with kids, and when kids come over, they disappear. So I'm just saying, it's military young men that's been flooding through that gate, so everybody keep their eyes open and their powder dry.
Yeah, they say you have these people. They're like, oh, they're seeking refuge. They're from persecuted. No, they're fucking not. It's a bunch of damn 20. You don't see all these like women and shit. I mean, yeah, you do. You do see some. So but it's the majority. It's all 20 to 30-year-old men coming to the thing seeking economic refuge. They're coming here to get jobs and work and make money is what they're coming here to do. And that's not a refugee.
I saw a post about, the women and children. Like, it was like an article about, Donald Trump hates, immigrants, blah, blah, blah. But the picture they used, it was like of a 3,000 person caravan coming across. And they were talking about women and children. In that picture they posted with the article, trying to find a woman or a child was like trying to find where's Waldo.
Yeah, it's sad. And they say, I heard somebody, I was listening to a stream earlier with Gen X dude. I like that guy. And he was there was somebody on there saying, well, it's refugees coming. And one of the main reasons is they actually brought up COVID and saying that that's one of the reasons that, and I was like, what the fuck are you people even talking about? It's 2024 and you're still talking about COVID. So I can't take you seriously. Like, that's the only thing I could think of. It wasn't him. It was a caller on his show, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Baha'u'llah, what happened to those 300,000 kids that just ended up missing from the border crossing?
You are the NCOs that come and pick them up. Who give them the order and the okay to take them?
Mm-hmm. Hey, machinist.
Where is what's her name? AOC crying at the fence over that one. I'd like to see that.
Well, that is still where she's still at, you know, because she couldn't find her way from. She was way away from any of the action. So, you know, come to find out, you know, not a staged one, but yes, it was staged. Come on, they can't keep anything real. Benny Johnson got kicked out of a Kamala rally, and there was like 150 people there, and they kicked him out because he was taking photos of, this is their rally, and Hillary Clinton was the guest speaker, and there was no line to get in it, and it was just like, and it was, you know, open to the public, you know what I mean?
Nobody goes to that shit. They go there because there's going to be, you know, some pop star playing a song or something like that. I mean, Trump, people go to see a Trump rally. People go to the Kamala rally because it's some free concert from, you know, Taylor Swift or some, you know, nonsense. And I don't like when people say celebrities shouldn't, and a lot of people, you hear this all the time, shut the fuck up and play your song, or shut the fuck up and play football, or shut the fuck up and do your thing. Celebrities, just because they are celebrities and they are doing that, they're no different than, you can't tell Joe the plumber to shut the fuck up either and say their opinion. I don't like separating that. They're allowed to say their opinion, you know, do whatever. So does that make sense?
Yeah, I 100% agree. The only thing that I find funny is that, you know, the country is pretty much 40-40 with 20% independence if you look at the voting record for the last 30, 40 years. And you can't find that in any profession, like, you know, plumbers or, I mean, I guess you can with teachers. They lean Democrat and stuff like that, but it's not all teachers. It's not 99.9%. It's just a weird thing that if you're in Hollywood, it's 99%. It doesn't match up with the demographics of the country. You know what I mean?
No, but I don't take Joe the plumber's, you know, I'll take their advice on plumbing just the same as if I needed to know how to, you know, edit a song and music video and what would be good, I'd probably take Taylor Swift's fucking advice. Like either one of them, I'm going to have my own political opinion regardless of what they think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. But then you have people like in Hollywood where it's 99.9% that vote blue no matter who. And then you see the people who end up kind of going against that, like Vince Vaughn. What big movie does he do anymore? You know,
I don't know. Fight and Cell Block 99 is a badass movie.
It is.
It's a badass movie, and he's doing his shit, and he's rich, and he don't give a damn. Big shout out to Vince Vaughn, Mark Wahlberg as well. I mean, those people they just keep their mouths shut and do their things. Remember when everybody got all pissed off? It was Vince Vaughn that was sitting next to Donald Trump at the football game.
Mm-hmm.
They all lost their mind. Yeah, he hadn't had a big movie since.
Yeah, that's my point. One fucking Hollywood guy likes Donald Trump, and they fucking lose their shit. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. The problem is they should all just come out and say screw you and just do it. But you'd have to know how it is with these people, and I mean, some of these people are insane.
Well, they've all been caught in the Epstein and the P. Diddy cams, you know, so they gotta walk this way and talk this way. So it's just there's some nefarious shit going down, boys and girls, and it's kind of weird, some weird shit. Like, you know, when you see P. Diddy just put a lip lock on a man, that was just like, what? But he's a hard gangster. I don't know, man. That's kind of strange.
I heard a comedian talk about Vince Vaughn, and this is all, I'm going to say this, it's all allegedly, But this comedian was talking about going over to Vince Vaughn's house for a party, and he was like, "That motherfucker has an AR-15 all over the house." He's like, he's got AR-15s laying up against the couch.
I guarantee you, I bet he's a cool person. I mean, like I like
absolutely.
Hey, let me say real quick, big shout out to Machinist. Good to see Machinist. Valhalla awaits as well. We got Dark coming in here. Good to see you, Dark. Just wanting to scroll down here and make sure. Dan B. Good to see you, Dan B. And just making sure. I like to say hey to all these fine people that come in here and spend their time. Heather, look at that, Heather. Good to see you, Heather. And so, yeah, sorry to interrupt. Just wanted to make sure I told all these people hi.
That's because Jordan's the GOAT.
I know Joe Rogan right there, like you were saying. I think that's a good endorsement for Donald Trump right there. The great and powerful at Elon Musk. If it wasn't for him, we'd be fucked. He makes what I think is the most compelling case for Trump you'll hear. And I agree with him every step of the way. For the record, yes, that's an endorsement of Trump. There we go. Joe Rogan coming in there with the endorsement. Good for you, Joe.
Hey, Wesley.
You know what I love about that is that Joe Rogan has been called a right-wing extremist for like a decade now. And
right.
And 2024 is going to be the first time he's ever voted for a Republican.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100. Yeah, it's absolutely stupid.
Are you saying he was a mole?
No.
Just waiting for Trump to get there so you vote.
If you went back and looked at the policies, even Obama, Bill Clinton, they would be called far right by the Democrat where they're at right now. They would be considered far right by their border policies and just their economic policies and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying is the Democrat Party, it's gone so far left that it's absolutely insane. Yet they make it sound like just if you love your country and you want to do good for your own country, that you're far right. And it's like, no, that used to be what everybody wanted right down the middle. I mean, Obama was the deporter in chief. They hated him. I mean, he deported more people than Trump, but nobody gave a damn about that. Flatty, Dave Flatty wants one of those drinks. Can you send her one over there?
Oh yeah, there you go. I'll send it right through the wires.
That's right.
This is Dave's making me thirsty.
Cheers.
No, cheers, Dave. I know y'all tell us your thoughts. Let's go.
Well, I think it's going to be a hell of a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's going to be interesting tomorrow.
Oh, you're kidding. It's going to be interesting for the next couple of weeks. Probably. Possibly.
What do you think, Gutters?
I think that we may have deja vu.
Deja vu all over again?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I think it's too big to be rigged. I think it's just too much has got out. Too many, it's just I think there will be a military intervention if she wins. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure we thought something like that last time too, and
yeah, we did.
What worries me.
But maybe it'll come out to be the biggest sting ever.
Hey, Ma.
We can only hope. They call him red-handed. That's what he said. Have you ever heard Trump say anything that he didn't do?
All I can say is get out there and vote.
I didn't know that woman. I didn't know the story Daniels. Yeah, they fixing to try to put him in jail in a few days. By the way, now doesn't he go like in the 26th or something like that to be sentenced or whatever?
So Dave B said he seen Elon Musk. Was it yesterday? Anyways, and he gave the $1 million to somebody in the crowd. Yeah, I know he's been doing that. Like once a day, he's giving $1 million away or something.
That was Dan B.
Yeah, Dan B.
Yeah, they're getting mad about that too. Because not really sure if that's legal or not, but you know, it has to go to the courts, but he's doing it anyway. Like Elon Musk, he's always like, fuck y'all. I'll just do what I want to do.
I'm doing it.
I'll say this. Elon Musk lands rockets backwards.
I know shit. I gotta tell you, man, that was pretty fucking impressive.
You know what I mean? He already found the loophole because that was decided already in a court case that it was completely legal. It was basically a loophole, but he wouldn't have done that if he didn't know beforehand.
Like he put toothpaste back in the tube. You get it?
Yeah.
Like,
How the hell do you do that?
I don't know, but he did it.
Very carefully. Or you make a big mess.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't do it. What's up, Big Dog Ma? Big Dog Ma's in here. I love you.
Yes, she is.
Love you, Big Dog Ma. Good to see you.
How are you, Ma? I swear it's been forever.
Yep, and Machinist, it's already that day. Go vote. Can't be too big to rig if you don't vote. Let's go. Exactly. That's the thing. Vote, vote, vote. And you know what? Even if you don't agree with us, get out there and do your thing and get out there and vote, because that's what we need Americans to do.
Accidentally.
Don't say that. People have gotten
Somebody got put in jail for that.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody made that joke and they got put in jail, even though other people had made that joke many, many times. But yeah, somebody actually is still. Are they still in jail? I think.
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was amazing that's one of the most amazing things I ever seen when that rocket come back in on that barge.
How does that even work? I don't understand.
It turned it into a big drone, bro.
Reverse thrust.
Yeah, I want to see that in person one day for sure.
Yeah.
Is it real or is it Memorex? I'm telling you what, it looked like they just reversed the film.
That's why I want to see it in person.
Except it didn't have the capsule on it when it got back.
It was just a booster rocket, right?
Heather, you
Mm-hmm.
a very profound thing you just say.
Yeah, it's the booster, Dave.
We cannot afford him not to win.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Love you too, Big Dog Ma. Big Dog Ma's awesome.
She's way off.
Mm-hmm.
If she was a condiment, she'd be awesome sauce.
There you go.
I thought you said something else.
Get your mind out of the gutters, Gutter.
On in a condiment.
I think we hit the part of the show where Gutters wants to go to her bar.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're at the point where she's already hit her bar.
She wants,
and
to
you
go
know
to the
that
Gutters
bar
club.
is set low.
Low.
Yeah, I just hope tomorrow everything stays peaceful and nothing bad happens, and everybody can go and do their, get the vote, do their stuff, and I hope we come on here tomorrow night and sit here and watch the results come in, and we're all happy. But
yep.
I think we're going to be sitting here. And just if anybody doesn't know that, we are streaming the election tomorrow night. Gunners is streaming it. I'm going to stream it. We're going to do it together. LW hopefully can come up in here. I'll bet we'll see Dave Brown and Mr. Duggar come up here as well. And we're all going to sit here and talk about the election. It'll be kind of a call-in show. We'll bring different people in and out, in and out, in and out. The old in out, in out. Everybody likes that, especially if you hot to and spit on that thing in that right, Gutters.
Oh, we will keep it. We will keep it somewhat. We just need to keep it so we don't have to delete the stream. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to say that Gutters is an OG hawk tour?
Well,
I mean, I didn't say that, but now your mind's in the gutter, Mr. Duggar.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, boys and girls. I didn't mean to use such offensive language, but I hope that didn't piss you off a bit.
Yeah, I hope so. Valhalla, I really do hope so. I think he's bringing in Elon to drain the swamp. Yeah, isn't Elon wanting to do like oversee spending? Weren't they wanting to put him in that? And like you see him going there and gut companies out and just be like Twitter went there and said, "What the fuck are all these people doing working here? We don't need none of you. Get the hell out." And yeah, I think so, Valhalla. And I agree with you on that. So I hope that happens. I mean, it is a dream team. I mean, the people he's talking about bringing on board, and they're all ex-Democrats. Which
it was funny when he took over Twitter. Everybody was working from home, or the majority were working from home. So he came in and he saw the cafeteria. People were working from home, but coming to the X headquarters to eat the free lunch. And what they were paying was something like tens of thousands, $100,000 per day. So he cut off the lunches. He was like, "You're not coming to work for free lunches. If you can come to work for free lunches, you can take your ass to work every day."
Remember when he walked in with the sink?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a yeah. It was, sorry, guys.
I'm sorry. He made everybody come back to work too before all the other companies made their. He was like, "No, you guys get your ass back in here. It's time to come back to work."
And then he acted like Donald Trump right then. You're fired. Oh yeah, motherfucker. And you way fired.
Mm-hmm.
And you fired too.
I got to tell you that, I've mixed feelings about Elon. I always have. But I got to tell you that one of the things is the fact that he is now officially, obviously, on the Trump team. To watch him clean up the budget. Oh my gosh. Everybody just grab a pen and pad and get ready to take note on how to do it. Because he gonna go through shit like, I just can't wait to watch that, because I think he is really going to go through everything, and it will be shocked to see how much he'll be able to cut.
Starting with Ukraine?
Sure.
Oh, that would be a nice cut, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. But all the alphabet agencies and all the frivolous stuff that has just, I mean, they waste more money on a daily basis on stuff that we just completely overlook. We don't even realize they're doing it. I mean, just drive by your courthouse, start there. I'm so much different stuff that is so wasteful. And I think that if he is able to go through that stuff, we will be that alone will be able to straighten some budgeting out. That's for sure.
Should we just go ahead and give him NASA?
Right?
He basically already has it. He basically already has it. I mean, they sub everything out to him anyway at this point.
Right.
I guess it was, who was it, Boeing that trying to get on him, but all their shit crashes. And yeah, I mean, basically he's the one doing all that. So he's got it. I mean, we've got a dream team right there. You've got people from all. And I think that's really smart what Trump's done there. And I think it's smart these people jumped in because they realized, people are starting to realize that Trump isn't just this, he's not Hitler. He's not like this horrible, he just wants the country to be successful again. And I want that too. I think everybody should want that. I don't want to live in a fucking clown world of nonsense. Let's get back to being America.
Oh, fuck Valhalla. Now I'm going to be up for another hour. If you haven't listened to the Rogan podcast today with Elon, I highly recommend it. Thanks.
I'm listening to that tomorrow morning. When I got some work I got to do tomorrow morning, so I'm going to listen to that while I'm working.
I want to ask y'all something. Do y'all ever expect like a little antennas to come up on the back of Elon's head someday?
It's like I've said before.
I have a secret.
He's like the love child of Batman and Dr. Evil. I'm not sure like which way I should go with it.
That whole back to the whole whatever that thing was that he re-landed in back into the thing there. Whatever you I know that.
Yeah, it's a rocket.
Yes. Rock. So think about how much money alone he saved. Normally they don't get those pieces back and do anything. Think about how much alone he's going to be able to use probably that whole thing again, where normally that would be destroyed.
Right.
I think he's had some that's been up over 10 times. Remember, he was firing it off a bunch of times, putting up Starlink, and he just used it to rescue them 2 astronauts. You know,
But wasn't he rebuilding them over and over and over when he did that?
At first he was, yeah. It's the new technology that he's got.
But he's actually had that technology for a while. He's been using it to put up Starlink.
I listened to that podcast today. He just seems genuine. And I know, because I was suspect about the Neuralink stuff that he wants to do with like implanting stuff in your brains. But he's also honest about it, and he's talked about it. He's like, I'm doing it to help, Alzheimer patients and stuff like that. But people he's upfront, like saying, like, people are going to use this for the wrong reasons, and I don't want that to happen. But it can be helpful to, for society. But the problem is people will take advantage of it. So he kind of like says the technology is there, but you also have to watch out for the fucking weirdos who are going to take it and use it for the wrong reasons.
Right. Where there's something good that can happen, people are going to use it for nefarious and bad reasons as well.
Right.
I mean, it's like, I have a nephew that's autistic, and I remember having this conversation with my brother and his wife and everything. We were talking about Elon Musk, and I actually brought that up. I'm like, oh my God, can you see where this goes? And they were like, yeah, but at the same time, if these types of things could actually help our son talk, then there's good to these things too. Like, you got to look at it like that. And I thought, I hadn't thought about that until they said that. And I was like, oh, wow. Right. Yeah, that's true. So there's really good things. Yeah, it's really scary to think that you could put a chip in somebody's head or something, but if it helps people, what if it helps people who are paralyzed? They can walk again, or, like many different things.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, I am going to watch that interview though tomorrow while I'm doing my work.
No. And the thing about Rogan, he wants to just sit down and be a couple guys or 2 people having a conversation. And he gets them comfortable with him. Then he's not afraid to ask a hard question. And, and he kind of, holds them to answering that question. I think, the reason Kamala turned down Rogan's request, because he'd had her talking like the Taco Bell Chihuahua, bro. She'd have been stammering all over herself.
He wouldn't have gave her the questions ahead of time, and he would have thrown her curveballs, and they knew that. They knew that.
Exactly.
She cannot answer questions.
No teleprompter.
Yeah, and that's the thing that people have always misrepresented about Joe. I've been a big Joe Rogan fan forever. Like back when he was on news radio in the 90s on that TV show. I love that show. And he used to do the UFC fights for free for Dana White when he was trying to get it started, But is that he's not a political show. Like, he'll have comedians on for 3 shows in a row, or he'll have some diet person on, like, some diet expert and eat and stuff like that. He's not a political show, but people make him out like he's CNN,
Right. But he is, though. That's the thing. He's bigger than CNN now.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the views. All right. Let's go on here and look right now. So on X, let's see. So Joe Rogan put out his podcast earlier, just on X. Let's see how many views. If anybody else can look that up on YouTube, that would be awesome right now. Can anybody else on a computer look up and see how many views that Elon Musk and Joe Rogan? All right, cool. So I'll look it up on X. You look it up there. And this isn't including all the podcast, all the different other things. I don't know what they are, but I'm kind of curious.
Sam.
Joe Rogan.
Yep, I just typed that in too.
Oh, Jesus. Right. YouTube is 5 million views in 9 hours.
All right. X is, I think we're at 17 million.
So just YouTube and X, 22 million views in 9 hours.
Yeah.
Well, Dan said 42 million views, and Kaylin said 45. So they must be adding something else in there.
Yeah, they have Apple Podcast, Spotify, all that stuff.
Rumble,
Right.
all that shit.
Right, that's going on. I mean, that's insane. That's CNN doesn't get those kind of numbers. Fox News doesn't get those numbers. Those things are not. That's gone. The mainstream media has died, and they did it to themselves because due to the internet, people can find these things out. Yeah, mainstream media was a big thing back when that was all you ever saw. That was the only way you had it. Now people have an outlet to see things in real time and actually do things. It's totally changed the game.
Well, see, that's what Joe Rogan says. He says, okay, no matter who I'm talking to, a diet guy, a UFC guy, a comedian, a politician, a conspiracy theorist, whoever I talk to, the rules are we're not going to talk about what we're going to talk about before the show, and nobody can come in with you. He's like, I like to talk to people and drag them into the deep waters and see how they think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the opposite of cable news. It's all 5-minute clicks, 5 minute, you say your thing, I say my thing, go to commercial.
Could you imagine Kamala being drugged into the deep waters? Oh my God.
Right.
I mean, that would be absolutely, there's no wonder. I mean, didn't she tried to do something where she was going to say, well, yeah, I'll do the show, but it can only be for an hour. And he was like, no, we do 3-hour shows. And she tried to change the rules or so. Isn't that right?
Yeah, she wanted him to travel to her. And the problem with it was he invited these comedians from Europe. They flew to Austin, Texas to do his show. So he was like, these guys flew out here to do my show, so I can't just bail on them to fly to you on the East Coast to do a 45-minute show, sorry.
Yeah, imagine being you're getting dissed for comedians from Europe.
Yeah, but still,
I know
him. Joe Rogan don't need her.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He's bigger than her.
Right, exactly.
By far.
That's absolutely horrible.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, Uncle Fatty says Elon has never known hardship. We are not all billionaires. He wasn't a billionaire when he started out. Come on now. Yeah, he wasn't poor. He wasn't poor either, but he did start a company with the little bit of money that he had and has turned it into being the richest person in the world. Got rockets flying fucking backwards down to the earth and taking us to Mars. So,
yeah, let's not let our egos get too big. I'm an idiot on YouTube with the name LW. You're an idiot on YouTube with the name Uncle Fatty. Elon Musk, is a rocket scientist. So let's be real here. We're both idiots, Uncle Fatty.
Yeah, let's sit there and say, how many people could you give $1 million to? Same thing with Trump. I mean, how many people could you give $1 million to and they turn that into billions and billions and billions of dollars? Not many. Most of the people, lottery will show you that. Most of the people file bankruptcy after winning the lottery. So no, most people don't get $1 million or $10 million. Let's say give everybody $10 million to see how many of us actually turn it into. What is Elon Musk worth now? $250 billion or some crazy shit, or maybe more than that. I don't even know.
What I think drives Elon Musk more than anything, he's a big time daddy. He's got 7 kids, something like that. And being the pragmatic man that he is, he's worried about the future for his children. And he sees things going afoul. He sees the decimation of the human species, and he's brought it to attention several times about we're not doing it enough. There not being any tight-knit groups. The mother-father standard old 1940s, 50s, and 60s relationship. And but I think a lot of it is that he's scared for his children. And
Well, that's right there, Duggar. You know, he had the one. That's what really, I think, changed his like whole outlook. You know, he's got the one son that I guess it's the son who transitioned. And that's where he came out, and that turned his whole thought on everything. And he's come out and admitted that and talked about it. And he's like, I lost a son, you know, I lost a son to this woke agenda. And he swore, I mean, this is on stream. I wish I had the clip. I mean, he came out and said this like with a microphone in his hand and was like, you know, I lost a son to this woke agenda and this thing. They and now they're, you know, basically all fucked up. And he was like, I don't care if I have to spend every dime that I have, is basically what he said. He goes, I'm fighting against this for the rest of my life. And this is, we're not doing this anymore. So, you know, big ups to him on that. And the other thing, one thing I wanted to touch on earlier, now that I think about that, is something else he keeps pointing out that a lot of people don't realize. So they move all these people in, and you notice they ship these illegals to different cities and different things like that. So what that does is they're like, oh, illegals can't vote. Y'all are so dumb. Don't even think that. But they're counted in the census. And you know what the census does? It gives electoral votes. So you put these people into these concentrated places. Well, now they get more electoral votes. They're counted in the census, and maybe they're legally not allowed to vote or whatever, but they're still counted in the census. So now you are, you know, stockpiling electoral votes, which will make it impossible for a two-party system to ever work again, which I don't necessarily like a two-party, you know, system, but you're basically just giving it to Democrats. If nobody's ever thought about that, somebody else could chime in right now. Oh,
Sorry, I was reading chat.
right. I know we got a bunch of people arguing in chat here and stuff like that. I like it.
Well, it's again, remember, we don't like echo chambers, so I guess we just, you know, it's okay if people disagree. For one, I think it does make us learn more about both sides, because then we do have to dig a hell of a lot deeper. So I think in a way, you know, not having that echo chamber is a good thing. So as frustrating as it is.
Uncle Fatty, come on, brother. You got to do better than this. So should we not include kids in the census? Of course you should include kids in the census. Kids that are born in America, kids that are here, but not, you can't, come on, don't be this disingenuous. If you bring real arguments here, you know that bringing in, what's the number, LW? You probably know this. How many illegals have come into this country? What's the estimation?
Well, in the last 4 years, it's 11 million.
11 million.
And to make context of that, the entire 65-year history of Ellis Island, it was 12 million.
Right. So 11 million in the past 4 years are now being counted in the census. So come on now, you got to do better, Uncle Fanny. You got to.
Well, did you see, 2020 when they did the census, the government admitted that they did the census wrong. They admitted it. Anybody can Google it. Uncle Fatty, Dave Brown, LW, GG, Mr. Duggar, and that counts towards electoral votes. Like, you know, Florida, I think it would have been a positive 1 electoral vote because of the census, but the government admitted that they did it wrong. So how does that work tomorrow when the government fucked up the census? You know what I mean?
Well, the government fucked something up?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, holy shit.
They can't count ballots. We know they ain't gonna be able to count fucking people.
I mean,
get that advocates out again.
Yeah, 4 years, 11 million people. That's Manhattan Island.
But wait. Here's what I don't understand. Like I've heard 11 million people for like a year, and I've heard 20 million people for the last 6 months or 9 months. So, and they're just flowing in by the thousands. So I kind of was spicy, and I'm going to go towards the 30 million range. I do believe it's way more than we absolutely could.
Well, it's 11 million documented. That's not counting the people that have come in without documentation. So we don't know what that number is. Nobody knows.
Living on a border state, I can see the impact of the 11 million that they say, and obviously outside of that, when they go across other ways without, doing the 3,000 a day caravan to the border crossing, but the ones that come across, your regular sneaking across, whatever. But if it was 30 million, I don't think it's that high, but it doesn't even matter. 11 million is nuts.
11 million is insane. I mean, that's insane. You can't have that. And that's not including the people doing it legally. And it fucks the people doing it legally. And that's the damn problem.
I disagree with you. I don't think it's insane. I think it's treasonous.
Well, it is treasonous, of course. You don't have a border. You don't have there's nowhere else in the world that'll let you do what you do here. Nowhere fucking else. You think you can do this in any other country? Hell no. I dare you to try to overstay your visa in some of these other countries. Good luck with that. Good fucking luck. They're going to kick your ass out.
Some European countries have adopted our way of doing things, but China, Russia, why aren't they taking it? I mean, it's such a crock show. And most of these people, and this is the thing about living in Texas, most of these people aren't Mexican. That's the whole false.
Right.
The whole false thing that starts from the beginning, that it's just people from Mexico. People, half of Mexico is safer than most of America because the cartels run it and they don't fuck up their money. So they make sure it's safe. How the cartels make their money. How the cartels make their money is sending shit over here and human trafficking and guns and drugs and stuff like that. But a whole bunch of Mexico is safe as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Central America. It's South America and Central America. They're emptying their prisons and because they're overrun prisons, and they're like, "Well, we're going to release you, but you better go to America. If you don't go to America," and that's what Biden did. He took away the stay in Mexico policy from Trump.
Right, which was working.
Right. You can't come to our border. If you're going to come across in South America and Central America into Mexico, Mexico, you have to fucking process these people. You can't just, if you don't close your borders, you can't just make a highway to our border. So if you're going to have your shit open, you got to keep them there, and we'll process them slowly, one at a time. Tell these people to fuck off. You can come in. Tell these people to fuck off. You can come in. And Biden kicked that. He totally deleted that. So, and that's what happened. That's why we have 11 million in 4 years.
Well, refugee status is supposed to be that you go to the first safe place that you can find to be a refugee to, not go through and be bussed all the way through all the other places to our fucking doorstep and get here. That's not how it works. And that's why these people get in here and none of them show up to court, and they're like, "Oh, we'll just throw them in here as refugees." And, they're like, "Oh, they're refugees. They're running from this persecution or whatever." No, bull fucking shit. This is all wrong. Anybody who uses that argument is an absolute fucking moron. And like Valhalla says here, democracy dies when that happens. Yes, it does. They put the shade of, "Oh, it's democracy. It's democracy. It's democracy." No, that's fucking horse shit. What they're doing is they are taking what should be democracy and they make you think that, and yet they're doing this behind your backs, and that is not democracy. And I agree with you, Valhalla. I don't want to sound like I'm arguing with you, but yeah, exactly. And LW is telling the damn truth, machines.
It's the truth. The stay at home or stay in Mexico policy. That's what fucked this all up. They got rid of it.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm excited about tomorrow. I'm scared about tomorrow, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Jay Shipes? Good morning, my friend. Good morning. Jay Shipes. He's a big Kamala Harris supporter.
Yeah, he always wakes up at 2 a.m. to go work on his speakers on his truck.
Right, exactly. Love you, Jay. Jay's an awesome dude. It's so much fun, like YouTube and things like this. The people we've actually gotten to like meet and become friends with, it's awesome. All you people, I love all you guys. And I don't, a lot of the people I've met too, I don't even agree with politically, but I still like them. What's up, Multi in here as well. Good to see a Multi.
Yeah, I like Multi. I agree with him on a lot of stuff. Like we've got that whole, like, we're not Republicans, Democrats. We're more libertarian, independent, like, and that's what Trump is, I think, with MAGA. People think he's like a Republican. MAGA is full of former Democrats, former Republicans, and former independents.
MAGA is full of Americans that give a fuck about their country.
Right.
I'm still a registered Democrat.
I still like you.
Yeah, when it comes to the big office.
And, hey, you're a Louisville fan as well, so yeah, like we can't hold we choose what we like you for.
Birds with teeth. Birds with teeth.
Birds with teeth.
I do have to say, you should probably pick your battles, Dave.
Poor Dave drove Pigskin Pete crazy the other day. Louisville whipped up on those boys.
Yeah, I personally didn't because I was typing on a shadow banned account. You couldn't see a fucking thing. Nobody could. I wasn't saying anything bad. I would have if I could have. No, I'm not pushing.
Well, that's the good thing about like meeting people like Dave. I had anything about Louisville football. When I saw the scores, I was like, all right, Dave Brown.
Johnny Unitas, baby. He's like, what? Ooh. Even the Pittsburgh Steelers passed on their homeboy. He wound up at Baltimore. No respect.
Yeah, so all right, let's wrap this thing up here in a minute because it is getting late and we got a big show coming out for everybody tomorrow night. We're gonna have a lot of fun tomorrow night, but let's go on ahead and say what's our predictions for tomorrow. LW, you go first.
Trump wins. People get mad, and then they make us wait a week or two before they finally admit that Trump won.
All right. Mr. Duggar, what's your prediction for tomorrow?
Trump in a landslide. And same thing, be a week before they give up the fight to get him in.
Yeah. What about you, Dave Brown?
Going to end up in the Supreme Court.
Same thing as, well, not the exact same thing, but it's going to start out the same way it did 4 years ago. Trump will take an early lead, and then the shenanigans will begin. And it's going to take 2 weeks to find out the real truth.
How about you, Gutters?
Well, I'm hoping it's going to go like LW and Duggar say, but I'm worried it's going to go more like Dave said, and in the end, we're going to get screwed. That's what I'm scared. And that's what I'm worried is going to happen. So get out there and vote.
Yeah, everybody does need to get out there and vote. I think it's going to be a clown show. I think tomorrow night it's going to be, nobody's going to want to admit I could see them both claiming that they won. And it comes down to, like you said, it's going to go to the courts. It's going to go to the thing. We're not going to know who the next president is tomorrow night, but we're going to have fun talking about it. So I do think everybody does need to make sure you tune in. We'll be streaming this live right here and over on Gutters Pub as well. Or actually, Gutters Pub is going to be streaming live and over here as well, because Gutters running the show tomorrow night. I ain't got to do it. I'm just going to be a freaking, just a guest on there.
He's just going to be a ragdoll live.
Exactly.
I'm just going to be on mute the whole time while Gutters cusses.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not going to do that. And you're not going to let me, LW. Damn it.
Well, we got a great show coming for you guys tomorrow night. Tonight was just a warm up. Tomorrow night is going to be a great show. We're going to have fun. We're going to sit back and watch all this election shenanigans go on. We'll probably go late into the night, I would imagine. And, anybody else got any other last words? Gutters, tell everybody why they should watch tomorrow night.
You should watch tomorrow night because we're going to have the best coverage. And y'all want to hang out with the best panel and the best people. And you're going to get to come on and tell us what you think on panel. So,
we're going to make it a call-in show so people can call in, tell us what they think. And that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. So make sure you're here. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you check everybody's channels out. Make sure you do that. All of y'all people that have tuned in tonight, though, big ups to all y'all. We love you all. Thanks for being here. And I'm going to go out with this commercial one more time. So everybody watch this, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Gutters, what time are you on?
I'm starting at 4 p.m. my time.
That's fake time. What does that mean in real time?
Okay, so 4 means 7 your time, 7 Central, 4 Pacific.
All right. Well, I'll be here about 9:30 or something.
9:30 Eastern.
Yes.
Y'all just did a whole bunch of math. I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
You're going live what time, Gutters?
4 p.m. my time, which is 6 p.m. your time.
Yeah, okay.
So, but yeah, I didn't. I mean, if you don't show up till whatever, an hour later, whatever, it doesn't matter. I understand. I know.
Yeah, I'll be there at 6. I'll be there at the front, and then that sounds bad. I was going to say I'll be there at the front of the show.
It.
And TF is going to be there at the back.
All right. We got a spit roast. We got a spit roast going on tomorrow night. Make sure everybody tunes in for that. We'll see you tomorrow night. Here, we're going to go out to this right here, though. So everybody do make sure you get out there and vote, no matter who you like. Just make sure you do what you're going to do. Love all y'all. Have a great night.
What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we the people choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing!
Don't you want healthy children? Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
I come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again.
Making darkness